world is such a warm and undiscovered place. You greet the world with open arms and spaghetti on your face. I read you fairy tales and I grasp for something I've misplaced. But Julia, our time grows short. You gotta be in bed by 8. Oh, Julia, it's time for bed. Don't do as I've done, do as I've said. You say your prayers and I'll say mine too. That only my girl will get passed on to you. Well, I thought your dad was rushing things when he first told me about you. Well, we're still kids ourselves, I thought, and for me, I guess that's true. But now I see our friendship changing into something new. I'm stuck between a boy and the man your father turned into. Well, Julia, it's time for bed. Don't do as I've done, do as I've said. You say your prayers and I'll say mine too. That only my girl will get passed on to you. Show me your perfect world again, and we'll close our eyes together and pretend that life is something we can understand. Julia, try not to grow up if you can.
How's it going, everyone? I can see people's faces now on Zoom. This is way different for me. Hey, Sherry Gray, I saw you rocking out earlier. Good to see you. Bernadette chilling out on the couch, just like rocking it, like it. Hey, Nadine and Nancy, you have your hand up on Zoom. Is that a wave hand up, or is that like, I have a question? Excuse me, I have a question. Good to see you guys. If you're tuning in on Facebook or YouTube, I can't see your face, but I can see your comments, so they're coming in fast and hot. Hey, Rob Berry. Hey, Alison McClellan. This is so cool, I can see people's faces.
And Julia, it's time for bed. Whoa, don't do as I've done, do as I've said. You say your prayers and I'll say mine too. That only my girl will get passed on to you. That only my girl will get passed on to you.
Colleen Kizelk taking a walk with us. If you're tuning in live from BC, shoot me a chat. BCers, where are you at? People from the prairies. That's Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Ontarioites, where are you at? Where's my Quebecers? Well, Quebecers technically not allowed to enter this contest, but you know, we still love you. It's mostly the government that keeps us apart. We can still ship to Quebec, but we just can't do a contest in Quebec. Shout out to my Nova Scotians, my New Brunswickians, my PEIans, and my Newfies. If you're there, let's hear it. Wow, the chat is blowing up. It's like faster than I can read. My goal tonight is not to look at how many people are on the stream because then I'll get really nervous. All I can see is Bernadette, Sherry, Allison, Rob Berry, Bailey, Baggio. I can see you guys. So I'm just gonna play for you guys and not wet my pants.
Julia, it's time for bed. Whoa, don't do as I've done, do as I've said. You say your prayers, and I'll say mine too. That only my good will get passed on to you. That only my good will get passed on to you. We have an amazing show for you tonight. It's going to be so fun. Stick around. I'm going to be right back after this short message from our sponsor, which is myself. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm David Fraser, founder of Bunkie Life. We're in the building industry. What we're famous for are small log cabins called bunkies that can be easily built in a weekend without a permit or a second mortgage. Ultimately, we help our clients create extra space for more meaningful connection. Yes, we help our clients get a cool bunkie. But if you think it's just about the bunkie, you've already missed the point. Really what this is about is creating this I feel like I should be interjecting something here. It's awkward for me too.
Yep, we're working on the audio right now.
Sorry, we're just 1 second. We're fixing the audio issue.
Welcome to the live stream.
I'm seeing check marks and hearts flying up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it too. So what we're going to do is we're going to restart that video in just a second where we can get our audio issue fixed. Thanks for raising your hands. We're just going to get you to lower those for a sec. My name is Chris Cummins, and I have the distinct pleasure of being your master of ceremonies and a bit of your host for tonight, along with the amazing David Fraser, whom you know very, very well from so many of these lives. I've been showing up on the lives. I've been watching David's journey over the last number of years, and it's just so cool. So here we go. We got the audio starting again. Let's do it.
Hi, I'm David Fraser, founder of Bunkie Life. We're in the building industry, but what we're famous for are...
Oh, famous for are, and then it stopped.
I could probably just say this line.
Yeah. Ken, we had to what we were famous for, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
Here, David, you want to narrate it?
Yeah. So really, it's not about what happens. It's not about the bunkie. It's what happens in the bunkie, right? It's about the meaningful connection it helps it all create. And owning bunkie is just part of that journey. Here's shots of the Dragon's Den, people looking at the bunkie. We're also the market leaders in educational videos and content. Our goal is that we want to be the trusted go-to source of advice, whether you buy from us or not. I also wrote this book. It's called Bunkie Life Extra Spaces. It's really good. It's a coffee table book, lots of sexy photos of bunkies and client stories and my own personal family's journey. And we have a factory right here in Rockwood, Ontario that makes these bunkies. And there's happy families in front of bunkies. And a guy with a really great body and his dad in front of a bunkie. We also sponsor Ronald McDonald House and their goal of keeping families close. There's one of the winners from a bunkie and a guy that we built his bunkie for a Make-A-Wish build. This is five friends that decided to build their bunkie all together. Actually, 6 friends. So I hope that you'll enjoy the show.
Yeah. Well, and hey there, my name is Chris, and as I mentioned briefly, I get to be the master of ceremonies for tonight, and I have to tell you, it is such a privilege to be invited to be involved in this, David. I wondered before we get going too far, I thought we would address the fact that we have a whole bunch of different streams going, right? So we've got a live stream going into a whole bunch of Facebook groups and some Facebook Lives. We've got a live stream coming in via YouTube. For example, I can see Tyler Hine, hey from Belleville, Ontario. We've got Aaron B, hi from Paris, all coming in through our YouTube Live. Then we've got, we're trying a new sort of, we'll call it like the beta launch, right? We're trying a new thing with bringing in some of the group in Zoom. And what's kind of cool is if I switch to gallery here, and I'm just going to drag this over to this window, and I'll go to number 5. If you see yourself on the gallery right now, why don't you give us a little wave? Right? I see Allison McClellan, I beg your pardon. I'm going to put myself in the top little window here. So yeah, I see Cherry Gray, I see Bailey Baggio, I see Melanie Cox, Carla Pike, Sandra Jackson, Jillian Holden Warren. You're getting like the what's up vibe going on. Paula Fedorik. We've got Naomi Rouleau, Love, Bunkie. Oh, look at you with the handwritten card, Tracy Dunstan. So what we're doing here is we're trying a new way to do the interaction, right? One option, of course, is via live stream where it's like one direction. And the other option is where we can bring you into Zoom. So if this goes well, if we get good feedback from this, we'll see if we can do this again and invite more and more of our Bunkie Life community on for next time. Wouldn't you agree, David? That'd be pretty cool.
It'll be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is a really cool way to see some of the faces, right? Like I see Kaylee Bennick sitting on Kaylee's couch right now. Hi, we see you. Big smile. I love it. Jade Radke, I see you scratching your head going, really? Is this actually happening? Yes, man, it's live. Randy Jones, I see you as well. This is extremely cool. Well, for those of you that you may know about David, but you might not know all of it. Of course, you saw that he's author of Bunkie Life, Extra Space, published in peak pandemic, right, in 2021. Of course, you know he's a Bunkie owner, and he's an enthusiast of Bunkies. He's also a musical artist and, of course, an entrepreneur. So David and his Bunkie Life co-founder wife, Carrie, they live with their 4 children. And I think you're up to 6 Bunkies now, right, on your property in Heron?
That's not the legal limit. I can build more, but that's the wife limit right now.
Okay, that's funny. So you're allowed to put more on your property, provided your wife approves. Like you've got to change the wife permitting structure.
Exactly. Right. Hoping there'll be a bylaw change with the wife next year.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can see Carmen Shaw coming in from Grand Prairie on the YouTube channel. That's pretty awesome. Robin Findle says, hopefully the winner's online and watching tonight. Robert Flindle, I agree with you, man. There's an awful lot of people here, and it's such a cool community. Jillian Holden Warren, I see you clapping. I agree. Like, there's this sense of anticipation, which is so fun, right? We've been looking forward to this broadcast for a while now and putting this show together for you tonight. So, David, we haven't really rehearsed this, but I want to take a second to speak from my heart, dude, and say it's an absolute honor to be invited to be involved in this, right? Like, I've watched you do the lives in the past, and I remember when you and I did our first live at the very start of the cough that stopped the world, right? I went back and watched that video and was kind of embarrassed. But thank you for inviting me into this. Well, I appreciate it.
So Chris, this is really cool to be part of it. So for those who don't know, we did this little podcast series with Bunkie Life called Good News Only. It was in the middle of the pandemic. Everyone's losing their jobs and losing their mind. We're all locked down. And so I had this series where I just did Good News Only. And I put on guests, and Chris was one of the first guys to go, yeah, I'm on board for sure. And Chris's livelihood is being made by doing public speeches. You travel across the world. He's a 10X TED Talk guy. He's done, speeches for huge companies, way bigger than little Bunkie Life. And of course, when the pandemic hit, it was like just like a knife to your entire heart of your business, right?
It disappeared. Yeah. Nobody was putting anybody on planes, and nobody was having conferences, right? There's 2 things that were not happening.
Right. Yeah. And so, Chris and I have been friends for a long time before that. And I remember, we've gone through the entrepreneurial journey together in a lot of ways. And I remember the story of like, Chris, what are you going to do, buddy? Right. And the answer to that, I think, was like, drink by yourself and eat potato chips for about a month.
That's right. Sit in my garage and eat potato chips.
Right. But the point I want to get to is that you're an inspiration to me. You're a successful Canadian pivot story where you said, okay, I can't go and speak to people live, but I'm going to learn how to do this Zoom thing. Right. I'm going to learn how to do this digital thing. You look like $1 million right now. right? You've already helped my look, right? Back then, I kind of looked cool compared to you, but now you look amazing.
Well, for giggles, let me show you the backstage view, right? So this is my desk right now. Like this is where, we launch space shuttles and we're doing lunar landers thing. I have like 7 monitors, 4 computers, audio mixers, all that jazz. It's a far cry from when I had the laptop pointing up my nose with a bad microphone and you and I were doing our little podcast together.
Yeah. Yeah. So you come a long way and I'm proud of you, buddy. Really
Thank you, man.
Thank you for agreeing to this.
Oh gosh, it's an honor. I mean, we've done a couple of cool things for like a $1.2 billion financial services company and some other gold companies and some things. And I have to say, this one fills my heart, dude. I mean, being at your factory a couple of days ago, right? Walking through the Bunkies and meeting a whole bunch of your staff. And I actually saw in some of the comments already too. If I go back through the meeting chat here, just hearing from Zoom, someone said, and I want to see if I can find them. Allison McClellan said in all caps, right? I don't know anyone here, but it really is a sense of family. So much dedication here. And I have to say, like, meeting your whole team of the Bunkie Life builders, it was surprising to me how many people were coming through each of the Bunkies while you and I were trying to film. They're like, hi, I'm here for an appointment to tour the Bunkie. We're like, okay, you go tour the Bunkie. It was just so cool to see the level of enthusiasm for what you're doing as an organization. And then to see the sense of community here is just extraordinary, man. So it's right back to you. It's an honor. You're an inspiration to me. And I appreciate you opening this up, right?
Yeah, cool.
Now, I guess if we're doing some housekeeping, you've already noticed that if you're doing a live show to many tens of thousands of people over a whole bunch of different platforms, I mean, we're capped at like 300 and something on Zoom right now, but over the other platforms, there's a lot of people here. So we're going to ask for your patience, right? If something does go sideways or if audio quits, like we're doing this live. I'm in my home in Toronto. We have one of my team members, Kem. He's in his home in Winnipeg. We've got David, you're in your home in Ayr, Ontario. Anything could happen. Internets can go out and stuff. So thank you for your patience with everyone, or with all of the potential things, right? Now, let's go back a couple of years, right? I remember when you and I were first chatting about some of this stuff. Like if we go back to, what was it, like 2017 or 18? Like what was going on for you and your family then that sort of was maybe the genesis of this journey?
Right. So, I mean, the beginning of Bunkie Life it's essentially, it was scratching my own itch, right? We live in Ayr, Ontario, just outside of the big city of Toronto.
Yeah.
And we had our first daughter and we ran out of guest bedrooms. So you may have seen Evie in some of her videos. She's 9 now. And my mom starts texting me and saying, hey, Dave, my neck hurts. My neck's hurting. I can't sleep on that couch anymore. And here's a listing to a tiny home thing on Kijiji. Here's a yurt you could buy. Here's an RV that we should consider, right?
Hang on. Your mom is sending you these yurt pictures?
Yeah.
Like, okay. So why are our moms sending us yurt pictures?
It was just, she had nowhere to sleep in her house anymore other than the couch.
Because you took over her guest bedroom.
Yeah, I took over her guest bedroom. There's nothing left. So, yeah, essentially it was a necessity. Like, what am I going to do? I could not afford, there's no way I could afford a renovation of that when I was a musician, full-time musician. There's no way I could afford an RV or even a yurt. Yurts are not cheap. And I needed something I could throw up. And I stumbled upon the idea of a bunkie. It's like a very Ontario thing. Back then it was like a very like niche Ontario thing for sure. Mm-hmm. And it's like a little structure. You just throw it up. You don't need a permit if it's under 10 square meters. And it was just a perfect little space for mom and dad when they come and crash, and Carrie's parents as well.
What I love is that we just got our team to put up the chat here too. So you can actually see a whole bunch of the chat that's flying in. We decided to put it in a little bunkie here, which is awesome. Ken, great job bringing that up live. Thank you so much for doing that. Now, when you look at 2018 and you're like, hey, let's do a giveaway, where did that start? Oh, by the way, I just before, I know I see some people in the chat too. What we thought we'd do is we'd give you the journey of Bunkie Life and we'd show you a bit of behind the scenes. And then we're going to do the draw in a bit. So we have not done the draw yet. Someone was asking in the YouTube who won, and we don't know.
They'll
yet.
Be asking all night.
Yeah, well, we haven't done the draw yet, so we don't know.
When's the draw? Yeah.
But you'll know when we know. But it's kind of fun to share not only the journey, but also, hey, what was that one? It said your daughter is awesome, Bunkie advocate. She should be on the payroll. I love her comments. Well,
I think for tax reasons I can get her on the payroll now. I think.
Yeah.
I can.
So that was from Colleen Kislik. Colleen's a big fan of your daughter on the videos. Well done, Colleen.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so let's go to the first giveaway. First of all, What does your wife say when you're like, hey, we're going to do a thing on the internet?
Okay, so my wife and I have a rule. I can try one crazy, insane thing a year, right? And so that was my crazy thing. It was, so the backstory is 2018, probably the hardest year of our life, I would say. And we're going through this. We are on this vacation to Florida, and we're it's more like a retreat to Florida. And we're all together. It's myself, my wife, and our one daughter. And we're, I'm going, hey, I want to try this crazy thing, right? I want to try giving a bunkie away on the internet, right?
And your wife's like, sorry, pardon?
Exactly. But to her credit, she rolled with me.
Okay, now you started saying sort of those were some of the hardest years, and I think we should go in there. But before we do that, like, I think what's kind of cool, and if you just drop in the chat, like just type a yes in whether it's the Facebook chat or the YouTube chat or the Zoom. Did you catch Bunkie Life on Dragon's Den? Did you see them when they had their TV debut? Just like spam the chat, because I have to say, when I saw you on there, it was just warm, fuzzy feeling of like, go David, go Carrie. Like, it felt amazing to see you bringing this community to the television world.
Well, it should feel that way, Chris, because you helped coach me on that whole presentation. So thanks.
Well,
I'll throw that out there.
Thanks, man. It's a privilege. I love telling stories, and I love helping people craft really cool stories. Right? It's very fun. From a presentation skills, but also like weaving together a narrative. Thank you for that. So, okay, you appear on Dragon's Den, right? And then, you make them yourself now. You have a factory. I was at the factory a couple of days ago. How did this start happening? Like, how did you grow from a dude who wanted a bunkie to where you are now?
One client at a time, right? I mean, our 2018 clients. So in 2017, we were kind of just like, I was renting them out on Airbnb, right? And people were saying, "Oh, I love this bunkie. Get make me a bunkie." And then I sold to some family, some friends. 2017 was kind of a non-serious year. And then 2018, we were going through this. I said, let's give it away, right? And in 2018, I mean, now we have Zoom. Now we have all these things. It's not as weird. But in 2018, I'm some weirdo playing guitar in a garage, pitching this amazing thing that's changed my life and saying, you should buy one too, right? It was very weird. Right, on Facebook Live. And the people that bought that bunkie the first year, I mean, I still know all their names. I know all their stories. They are the early adopters. Everyone here is pretty much an early adopter, but these people are early adopters, right? And there's, I think, 30 people crazy enough to buy a bunkie that year from me, right? And I went and built a lot of their bunkies for them. I got to meet them all. And
I think you should call that the Founders Club. There should be like a special pin you get, because actually someone just put in the chat, I think it was Michael Coffey said in all caps, he goes, "Can we do a bunkie fest? Confirm already, LOL." Like,
right.
They should be like founder pins walking around a bunkie fest. Hi, I was one of the first ones, actually.
Exactly, the founders. So yeah, so that was our first pin, and then it just kind of sequentially grew and grew, and we were fortunate enough to have some great team members join us and help. And then the pandemic hit. So my other business got complete. I used to run a wedding band. So much like
weddings weren't happening.
They weren't happening. If they were illegal things in a barn somewhere with no band. Be quiet. We're trying to get married.
People were getting arrested for having weddings and haircuts, but everyone was okay with weed being legal. It was the weirdest, like, inverted thing.
Yeah. We can't shut down the beer store.
Yeah. Did you get a haircut? Stop it right now. How dare you get a haircut? Okay, so I thought it would be really fun, because I tell you, I really enjoyed seeing you on Dragon's Den. I think a lot of us here would find this really cool. I'd like to show some of the Dragon's Den video and get some of your thoughts on like what that was like behind the scenes. Can you just give me, if you're here live on Zoom, you just raise your hand if you think that'd be kind of cool to hear his narrative of like behind the scenes on Dragon's Den? Yeah, I see you, Laurie Chisholm. Cool. All right, so David, I'm going to share my screen. And then I'm going to turn myself on in a little corner here. So walk me through what it's like when you're walking down this pathway. Like, what's going on here?
Okay, so this was nerve-wracking. You're really coming in cold, and it's a big room. It doesn't capture it really on TV that well, but it's an enormous room. So like the distance between you and those 5 intimidating people up on these thrones is a large distance. And you have to go to this little X that's marked there very subtly, and you got to stand there, and it's a long way. So it's nerve-wracking for sure.
Okay, so you're walking in, and have you ever met the dragons before at this point? Like,
no,
what's going on here?
They don't know you. You don't know them. It's completely like just like on TV.
From Erie, Ontario.
I'm David.
And I'm Carrie.
We're so excited to share a little bit.
Look at the stare. Like they're already sort of, who are these people? What's going on, right? So at this point, are you thinking I've nailed this, or are you going, oh boy, like?
Yeah, I'm in just no man's land here. And so just to give some context, we're the first pitch of the day.
Oh.
And we had to wheel the Bunkie in so there's the thing I was most nervous about, to be honest. We built the Bunkie the night before, really late at night, and we had to build it and then wheel it into the set. And the Bunkie is like 16.4 feet tall, if you count the little wheels we had it on.
Okay.
The door we had to get it through was like 16.45 feet tall, and there was this light that I thought I was going to crash into and collapse the whole thing. So as we're wheeling it in that morning, my jerry-rigged little wheel system starts breaking down, and so they have a forklift there, and I'm underneath the Bunkie trying to secure the last little bit of the Bunkie and make it sturdy, because I kind of had to go up on these little pillars.
You're
basically
underneath a forklift at the CBC studios.
So many HR and HEPA violations and whatever it is. It was completely unsafe. But I thought, what if I died? What if I was crushed underneath it? I'm sure my family would get a good lawsuit out of it.
So is that underneath this door that's raised here? What this one that's going up?
Yeah, the door goes up, and then you can see the Bunkie, but it's built on these crates subtly. It's hard to see. Yeah.
Okay, so what did this feel like? You're on Dragon's Den. Like, what does it feel like to do this? It's got to be bizarre / inspiring / terrifying. That's what I would be anyway.
Yeah, I think it's all the above for sure.
And then here, I just want to play a part here. When they do the reveal, there's something I think that's very cool. If I were doing the pitch, it would start to make me feel amazing, right? So hang on, let me just play a bit of the audio here.
We founded together, Bunkie Life. We're here to secure a deal for $1 million for 12.5% of our company.
Have you ever found yourself having this fight right before a family visit? We've got 2 bedrooms and 3 kids. Where the heck will your parents sleep? We have, and it prompted us to search for a solution.
We looked into a home renovation, very time consuming, and possibly even divorce inducing.
You got a laugh out of them. That's got to already calm you down, right?
That was nice. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We like that. We worked on that line. That line came to me like a day or two before the pitch. I'm like, that's a good line.
Yeah, that's good.
Introducing the Bunkie.
Now, watch Michelle Romano here. This is what I just thought was really cool. Watch.
Small log cabin kits.
Whoa. Yes, and you don't need permits to build these.
We'll get there. So
She starts taking over your pitch. Like
she starts stepping on my pitch, and they warned me. All the producers warned me, like the Dragons are a little bit. They might just take it and run with the pitch, right? And she had been on our website or heard of us or something.
Yeah.
And then they cut from the show. This is something cool. They cut this from the show, but Arlene or Michelle goes, "Oh, the permits." And I cut her off. I'm like, "Hey, this is my pitch here, right? I get my 1 minute here." And then Arlene yells out, "Bunkie Life, I was on your website last week," right? And at that point, I'm like, okay, we're in good stead here. This is going well. And then ironically, we ended up selling that exact Bunkie to Arlene, and we built it for her that next day or the day after that.
You built it for her?
Yeah, she's in the market for a Bunkie that particular month or whatever, and she was on our website and then yelled that out, but they cut it from the edit or whatever.
Did she pay for it, or was this a freebie?
She did, but she wanted a deal.
Of course she did.
I didn't give her a deal.
That's great. So Micah Coffee saying how rad, Connor Hunt saying incredible story, right? Dale Platten on YouTube is saying, awesome Dragon's Den pitch. And if I go to the live here, oh, there we go. Go to the Facebook Live as well. The comments are flying in fast and furious.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Okay, so let's, we're talking about the Dragon Den stuff, and really, it sounds like that you got some buy-in from them, right? Like, I think all 5 are like, hey, let's do something.
I don't want to give all the details away. Got to watch the episode, but yeah, it was positive.
Yeah.
It went well, I'd say. Yeah.
Cool. I'm just taking a look at the chat. Cool. Arlene has the dollars, says Deanna Martin. Right? Arlene can afford to buy a Bunkie, I think.
And having gone to her house, and it was her cottage property, and it was really nice, and she was so cool. She was really chill. She's like a legit awesome human being in real life. So that was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, that is cool. Now, someone also just said, we're over here. Caitlin says that having them build it was so smart and so easy on television. Yeah,
Thanks.
well played.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so Dragon's Den aside, you mentioned briefly that there was it was kind of an emotional time for your family. So what was going on in that early part of the Bunkie life journey?
Yeah. So, I mean, a number of things, but we were trying to grow the family and we kind of were running up against some issues there. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. But, it was, when you start a business, it's like, you just don't know what the right thing and the wrong thing to do. So you just kind of do everything. So I made the amazing offer of, hey, if you buy a Bunkie this year, I'll go do your install for free. That offer was rescinded, by the way, everyone. That offer does not exist. So everyone that was on an island or like up in the boonies or like in a really hard to get to spots, like, great, Dave's going to haul it up this crazy hill for me too. So it was quite the summer. I was away from the family a lot. So that was, and then on top of the other stuff that we'll mention it.
Well, it's interesting. You talk about family and people building it and things. Judy Sheen says she'd love to give her dad a Bunkie as a birthday present. He's 84 years old today. And that actually, that goes into a theme of the Bunkie life community, right? Like, it looks like there's grandchildren, there's children, there's grandparents, there's all kinds of people getting involved in building these things. I think it's kind of amazing. But when you go through your journey, you had a rough go, right? And then, in essence, you built your own Ronald McDonald House on your property, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I find amazing, and I think it's so cool that there's this sort of relationship that you now have with Ronald McDonald House. What's their tagline? Something like keeping family close?
Yeah, and that's what the Bunkie did for our family during 2018, right? It kept families close, and we decided in 2020, like, how can we use the situation and what we went through to redeem it in some way, right? And to turn to something good. And so I just called up Ottawa chapter of Ronald McDonald House. I had a kind of mutual contact through them, and they were like, "Yeah, this is great." And I told them the story. They're like, "I love this." So starting in 2020, we decided, hey, we're gonna partner with them, and it's been amazing. I get to talk to people from all over the Ontario chapters. We're kind of one of our clients is a board member for the Canadian Ronald McDonald charity as well.
Yeah, that's what I find amazing, right? So you've got a relationship with Ronald McDonald House, and essentially Ronald McDonald House helps people be close to their family when they're going through tough times. You essentially built your own version of that on your property, so your family could be with you close, right? Yep. And then one of their board members buys one of your Bunkies. What does that feel like? Oh, I think this is legit now.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny was a great guy. And the funny thing is, he's a very academic kind of personality, like a professor kind of personality.
Okay.
And I remember he called me up and he's like, I can't find a contractor. I want to get a contractor to build my Bunkie for me. I'm like, Danny, you can do this, buddy. You and your family can do this. And he was probably the most hesitant client I've ever, I don't talk everybody into building it for themselves. Sometimes some people really do need a contractor, but
yes,
for 99% of people, if they really put their effort to it, everyone that's tried has succeeded. And Danny was probably the most trepidatious one we had, and he rocked it.
That's amazing. Because if you said, Chris, you could build this yourself, I'd be like, dude, I love you, but I don't swing a lot of hammers, right? I can play Lego. I can do Lego.
Yeah. You can assemble a Bunkie.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing. Okay. So you're saying he was trepidatious about building a structure and he's not really mechanically inclined. I know you did an interview with him. What can you tell us about him? And then we'll bring up this quick 1-minute interview you did with Danny, the board member of Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy, and we just aligned on a lot of different things. And I think he bought into Bunkie life as an idea. I think before he even knew we were connected, but then it was cool that, he's also, a higher up guy in Ronald McDonald House Charities.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, we're hoping that we've got the audio thing figured out, and we'll see if our team can play that video of Danny Baldwin, the quick interview that you and he had over Zoom not too long ago, right? When did that meeting happen?
That was about a month ago, too. Yeah. December. It was like our Christmas update.
That's awesome. Naomi Rouleau says, let's get Bunkie models into Lego. I love it. So we're just going to see if we can change the spotlights here, and then we're going to see if we can play that Danny Baldwin video. So Danny, tell me more about the build, because you had a very trepidatious intro to building the Bunkie, and you were like, I think I need someone else to build this, but you and the family decided to take it on, and I want to hear more.
We did. And again, the challenge where we built it was on quite a severe slope, right? Probably about a 3-foot drop from one side of the Bunkie to the other. So, and again, it's in the forest. So we were worried about the ladder stability and things like that. And so I was discussing with David is that we built everything from inside the Bunkie with the ladders inside the bunkie. And one of our biggest pat on the back was how we raised the beams from inside the bunkie. I was on the loft. My son-in-law was on the ladder on the back of the bunkie. Simply threw a rope over both ends of the bunkie, raised it up in tandem, put it over, and it fell into the slot. And it was like my son and I looked at each other like, that can't be it. It was way too easy.
I love it, right? Let me see if I can spotlight here. So here's a guy who's not exactly mechanically inclined, and he's like, I cannot believe it was this easy. Do you hear that a lot from people?
Yeah, absolutely. That is probably one of the number one things we hear back. It's like, it was so fun to build. And, it was easier than we thought. Once we put our mind to it, we rocked it.
Rhonda just said, great option for even housing stuff. Yeah, it is amazing, the cost effectiveness, right? Like a bunkie versus how much an RV costs or how much it costs to do a renovation. Like, what would you say the use cases are for people for the bunkie, right? I mean, one of the things that blew my mind was when you called me and said, hey, Cummins, we got an Airbnb bunkie. I was like, stop it. You what? Did you think everyone's going to do Airbnb?
I literally thought everybody. So this is 2015. I started the Airbnb, right?
Okay.
And I thought everybody's going to want to do this. And that was, I was thinking, I'm just going to sell bunkies to other Airbnb people. And there's definitely like the handful of people that have done that have crushed it. We sell a lot to resorts and golf courses and that type of thing, glamping resorts.
Yep.
And there's individuals that I'm sure you've met, if you've watched any of our videos, that have done it, and they're all doing really well. But the majority of people have this issue. I've got a cottage. It's not getting any bigger. The town won't let me make it any bigger in a lot of cases. And my family is getting bigger. That's probably like our 80%. And then the other people is like, I need a backyard spot, like kind of like Dave and Carrie, that I just have extra overflow space for when family visits. So that's another use case, is that in their backyard. And then there's kind of all the rest. There are some people that actually legit live in their bunkies full time, but they're the minority, because you need to be a hardy individual to pull that off.
I'm just looking at the chat. Lime Rock says Airbnb people love it in the YouTube chat.
Chef's
love
kiss.
it. Someone else just said my wife is pretty stoked. She wants me to win. She said it would be a great man cave. I love. So that's the thing too, right? It's a 3-season man cave for some people in their backyard if they're in a city or a town, whatever. And other people put it on a farm, right? Other people put it at a cottage. If we can just dig into the Airbnb quickly, like you have 6 bunkies. Is one is a bathroom bunkie or something?
Yeah, I've got like a bathroom bunkie and 3 main ones I was renting out seriously. So I could probably do 4. This has all been vetoed. So it's all been vetoed from Carrie. She's like, we have bunkies in the factory. So what happened was,
I love it.
So COVID hits, and you would think that people wouldn't want to stay, but they wanted to stay in a bunkie in COVID. So I was super booked. But then people also wanted to buy bunkies. So they're coming to our house to see the bunkies. So a lot of you on the Zoom and the chat have probably been to my house, right? If you've been around for a while. So you've been to the house, and it was every 5 seconds, like, can you guys get out of the bunkie, please? I just need to show this to some people, right? And then it got to the point where it was like every hour, can you please get out of the bunkie? I need to show this to some people. So the Airbnb experience wasn't as rustic and as private as it could have been because of people. But now we have a factory just 10 minutes away from our house in Rockwood. And so I want to tentatively, I hope the town of Erin isn't listening, but I might open them up again and have Evie be the boss, right? She can do the changeovers.
Evie, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So Holly Galloway in the chat writes that, and this, you really got my heart here, Holly. Holly said that my in-laws had a cottage for many years, and my mother-in-law's family was and to my mother-in-law's family, the cottage was everything. We lost her to brain cancer 5 years ago, after which my husband and I bought the cottage. Having a bunkie would give us the space to continue my mother-in-law's tradition of being with family. Like, if that doesn't just come right into the entire, the bunkie life vibe of community and the reason you're doing this, like, what did you say last night when we were talking about this? What's your vision for bunkie life? It's creating what for families?
What we're in the business of doing is helping families create extra space for more meaningful connection.
Meaningful connection.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. So now if we talk about this idea of assembling versus building, like, I mean, I just made the joke about Lego, but if you're like, dude, if you can play with Lego, you can build one of these. Is that for real? Like,
Yeah, because it's an assembly job. Everything's pre-cut, right?
Mm.
Everything is pre-notched. There's no measuring really involved other than maybe the first step. You want to make sure you're square. But, we have videos to help you through that process. It varies much like assembling. But what I've noticed is nobody sends in their Bunkie Life assembly video, right? Look at us. We assembled our Bunkie last weekend. It's always, look at we built that.
We built that.
We built that. We built that. That's always the videos and the photos that we get. And usually unsolicited. They're just like, hey, here's our we built that. And they're so proud. And I'm so proud of them, because a lot of them are like, I don't know if I can do this. And I get that, right? I totally get that. But no one, everyone that's done it has succeeded is what I'm trying to say.
What I think is amazing is, I'm just going to go back to this Dragon's Den video for a second. Look at these people in $3,000 or $4,000 suits, quote unquote, building, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't see chainsaws. I don't see contractor trucks. I don't see air guns and nail guns and stuff. These people are literally banging on it with a mallet. That's something that I didn't realize. Like I could do this. And I would imagine that would probably scare some people away. Like, well, geez, it's pretty technical. I got to find a contractor. What's that going to cost me? What would you say to someone who's nervous about that? And have other families done it?
Yeah. So here's the thing. We do have a great list of contractors. If you need someone to do it for you, that's an option, right? And some people have more money than time, right? That's a real thing for real people that does exist, right?
Yeah.
Or just they don't have they're not capable of doing it. And that I want to be sensitive to that group of people.
Yes,
however,
fair.
That's a smaller group than you would think. About 80% of our clients DIY with their friends, their family. Maybe they hire a contractor to do the foundation or finish the roof, but the bulk of it, they're doing themselves, right? That's about our 80%. And there's that pride of like owning the Bunkie, but it's a whole new level. And it's like, I helped build that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally do. I totally do. Tara Kutis says, I'm so excited to create a dance studio space. I can already feel the artistic juices flowing. That's in all caps. Like all caps is a big deal, Tara. We see you. We see you. Now, if we talk about what's the word I'm thinking of? People building and the community. I think if people are unaware, like the sense of community that you have built within the Bunkie Life world is kind of amazing. I see Cherry Gray nodding right now. Like this is not just buy some wood, slap a thing on. Like I think there's so much more to this Bunkie Life community than a Bunkie, frankly. Are people sending videos like unsolicited? Like, look at this, we did a thing.
Can we just show you some photos?
Okay.
Hold on. Let me just see if I can share this with you guys. This is probably going to be a weird thing. Don't want to do it. Okay. So
that's your wife, right?
It's a hot smoking wife. That's us building a house. So maybe we'll talk about that a little bit as well. But okay, this is whenever I'm like feeling bad, I go to this folder. It's called Photos of Humans Enjoying Bunkies, right? Because there's
my gosh,
there's some unfun things of running a business, right? Like taxes and all that, right? But this is me and some literal volunteers. We showed up together. I think it was near St. Catharines, and we built this Bunkie for a kid that it was like a Make-A-Wish build, right?
You're doing Make-A-Wish builds and Ronald McDonald House?
Yes.
What does a Make-A-Wish build look like for a Bunkie?
We show up and build a Bunkie for them, and usually with volunteers. So these folks all volunteered, and we built this Bunkie in a weekend. This is some of our clients, like I was talking about. This is the grandma that built the Bunkie with her grandma friends, right?
Wow.
This is a family that built their Bunkie together. This is them staining it. Look
at the smiles.
Everyone's chipping in. Yeah, right. And everybody's chipping in on this. This is some sanding happening. Kids are staining, right? This is mom putting in a beam. And
I can imagine the sense of accomplishment from this family. Like, I've never put in a beam before. And then they stand back, and 15 years from now, they can point at it and say, I built that. That was me.
Yeah.
That was me up there.
Exactly. This is them doing the foundation. This is a good looking family I might know from Erin, Ontario.
Looks like your family, brother.
Yeah. This is, I like this photo a lot too. It's like a multi-generational thing happening. So yeah, I mean, the end result is something like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of where the joy of the business is at, for me at least, and I think for a lot of other people.
So I'm reading the chat, right? So we've got Connor Hunt says, gentlemen, 2 days ago I finished my 4th round of chemotherapy. Building meaningful connections is really all we have in life.
That is
Maybe
profound.
that's deep, but it's so true. Thanks for doing this, guys. Best of luck to the winner. Connor, we're with you. Like you're in my heart right now. And that's what we're talking about, this meaningful connection thing. I think the picture that's on your screen right now, David, I would imagine pretty much all of us tonight here, we picture that with our family. You know, Carla Pike, I see you nodding, right? Like we picture that. We're like, I want to build a bunkie and I want to put the people I love on the front steps of this thing. And then every single time somebody sleeps in it, they remember that A, we built it together, and B, you know, we now have more space for our family.
Yeah, and there's so few moments in life where it's like a culminating thing where it's like we're all together and we're all kind of pulling the rope in the exact same direction. You know, like a wedding's a good example of that. There's this great feeling when your family members getting married, and I'm getting the flowers and I'm preparing the speech and I'm doing this, and we're all pulling the rope together and we're rooting for them. And that is such a rare thing in a lot of families, you know. And Bunkie, the epiphany I've had over the last, I don't know, probably 6 weeks is like, why do the people that have a contractor come and build their bunkie, they love their bunkie, right? It's a great thing. It's extra space for more meaningful connection for the family. They love it. But the people that rally the troops together and they get it done together
in a weekend, like it's not like it takes weeks.
No, it's not a huge project, but it's a weekend project for them. They love their bunkie, Chris. Like they love it, you know, and they're writing me and they're sending me these photos and they love the bunkie.
Well, we got a video, right? There was that family, the Walsh family, sent you a video, totally unsolicited. They're like, hey, we just want to send you this thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can. We're going to bring a third screen on here, and my team is going to play that Walsh video, and you and I will stay on the screen as well. And I just want to talk about this video because I think it's kind of cool how it captures what's going on. These people are clearly not contractors, right?
Hey, they could be contractors. We don't know that.
Well, no, I just see people like swinging around 2x4s and stuff. So they got the sono tubes and they built a flat spot, right?
Yep.
We've got a toolbox with like a hammer. There's a dog helping, clearly.
Yeah, obviously. Need the dog there.
But these are videos people have put together and sent to you like unsolicited, right?
Yeah, they're just like, look at how awesome our bunkie is, you know? Look at how cool we are building it together.
Look, you got like a 10-year-old banging on a thing, right? Manon Larocque says, wow, amazing. I agree.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's how the windows go. And that's an important point. The windows just kind of slide in, which is really nice.
Like Lego.
Like Lego.
Brittany Papp says, if I won, I'd put it on my mom's cottage land. We lost my dad in 2018, and they're planning on making the cottage their forever home. She still plans on doing it. Oh my gosh. See, Brittany, that's amazing. So look at this. They're like 2/3 of the way done. People are waving through the window. This is a family affair.
Mm-hmm.
They put the insulation on the floor.
Good choice. You don't have to do that, but it's great.
Mm-hmm. People can use this like 3.5 seasons kind of thing.
Well, as is probably 3.5 seasons. If you want to insulate, you can get up to like 3.9 seasons.
Oh, that's cool. Miss Ross just said these are core memories. I couldn't agree more, right? You're loading, like you're loading core memories in your kids or your grandkids.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does look like there's not a lot of sawdust, right? This isn't a big...
Well, everything's pre-cut, right? There isn't really any cutting to do. There's just more assembly.
Wow, that's kind of cool to see. And here's mom going up the ladder with a 2x8.
I think that's a kid, actually. That's
is that a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Sandra Moose says, awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like, think of the vibe on day one, the thing's 2/3 of the way built, and you have your iced tea sitting on the porch, and then day two, you're like, shut up, we're done. What? You can't do a cottage reno in a weekend. It just doesn't happen. Oh, interesting. Lisa, you as a single mom, you would totally use it for a different space. I like that. Look at that. Now, sometimes you've got a wooden roof here. Sometimes people put a different roof on top too. Is that right?
Yeah. So the wooden roof comes with the kit, and then from there you can add whatever you want. So a lot of people go with metal roof. I try to push people towards a metal roof because it'll last forever. That's kind of the goal. I want the bunkie to be something that lasts forever, but maybe you have shingles on the cottage you want to match. So you go with shingles, or maybe there's there's lots of options. Wooden shakes are really cool.
Yeah.
There's even like green kind of like grass thatch roofs that are options now. There's so many cool options now.
I get it. Now we've got Leanna Joclia says, we live in Sudbury, which is the hub of the north for medical treatments. She says, we already had many people stay with us. Now they would have their own little space to relax. We just purchased a property 2 years ago that my dad could live with us. This would be an awesome addition to our property for many purposes. I love this company and the motivation in quotes behind it. I think that's key, right? This is not just a block of wood. This is you're investing in a community of really neat people, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
like some of you folks have probably joined I think I call it the future Bunkie lifers of your region. And when you kind of, decide, hey, I'm going to be a client, like you get to be part of it's called the Bunkie lifer private group, right? All the Bunkie lifers. And it's what we're doing right now, kind of on like hyperdrive, right? It's like everyone's sharing photos and I don't even go on. I go on there once a week just to get happy. But it's all people sharing information with each other. There's like people in Vancouver meeting up to help each other with their stain and their thing. And then there was, one of our best builders in Ontario is a client that like was running like a mortgage brokerage and just loved building bunkies. She built her own 3 or 4 bunkies. Then she started building for other people with her contractor boyfriend. And then now they're traveling around and helping everybody. Cause it was really hard to find contractors over the last couple of years. And so they were just like picking up this job, picking up that job and meeting everybody. And it's such a cool thing. Like the Bunkie life community has really like gone off on its own and is morphing into.
And the fact that you have sweatshirts now, I think is really cool. And in full disclosure, I was at the factory the other day and you didn't have any sweatshirts on hand because they were all gone. So clearly you're getting more made too, but can they get those? Like they can.
Yeah, they're handmade in Canada. They're embroidered. We don't make them, but like there's a company that in my hometown that I grew up in that makes them.
That's amazing. Now I wanted to get into the deeper part of the why, and this is like super emotional. When you clearly felt okay relaying it in the Dragon's Den show, you described that tough time really well on that Dragon's Den segment. I wonder if we can play that. This is sort of that motivation of the why behind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we're getting our team to cue that up in the bottom box there. I love it. Someone's got 15% battery left. You plug it in. Skylar's coming in to Alberta.
You mentioned the Ronald McDonald House and that it has impact. What's the story there? Can you share that with us?
Yeah. So I promise there's a happy ending to this story before we get into it. So
because I cry easily, right? Yeah.
So we've always had a dream of having a large family. And so, as I said, when we had our first daughter, we built our first bunkie, and everything went great. A couple years passed, we thought, let's try for another kid. And we ended up losing 2 babies around the 10-week mark. And then we had our second daughter, Hope. And
Love the name.
a few years went by, we started trying again for baby number 3. And around the 16, 17 week mark, where we thought we were out of the woods, we ended up losing a baby on New Year's Day, 2018. And we kind of gathered our courage again. In July of that year, we lost baby number 4. And with the support of our friends and family, we started praying, how can we turn what we've gone through into something good?
Right.
And so we realized like having the bunkie on our property was more than just a cool bunkie and a cool looking thing. It was a bridge for our families who live many hours away to come and stay with us and be near us when we were going through what was a very tough time. And so we realized that we had built our little Ronald McDonald House right on a hill, and we hadn't even realized it. The goal is whenever we sell a bunkie, we'll donate a night's stay to a family that is going through a crisis and that can really use their support. Ronald McDonald House, their mission is keeping families close.
Well, yeah, keeping families close and building these opportunities for people to bond together, right? So I'm curious, like, let's say someone is touched here tonight and they're like, holy cow. Yeah. I mean, clearly you're here because you want a bunkie and ideally you're going to win it. If someone is like, well, gee whiz, how do I get it to my house? Like, is this like going to Best Buy and picking up some batteries? Like, how do you get this thing to your place?
So there's kind of 2 main ways. You're welcome to come pick it up at the factory in Rockwood, right? We've got a forklift.
Not with a car, I'm sure.
No. Some people are like, can I put it in the back of my VW? No, you can't. So they're about, if you have a Ford F-150 level truck, one of those kind of trucker guy trucks, and you have a long trailer, we can get it on your trailer and you can take it home. So that's one way. But for like 98% of people, we're more economical to drop it off at your house within Ontario. So what we do is we put 5-6 bunkies on a flatbed truck, kind of like the Home Depot style trucks with a forklift on the back. And we can take it to your cottage area, grab it off, gently place it down near where you want to build it, which is very handy. And then, Bob's your uncle, and we just try to basically cover the cost of that. And then alternatively, for people that live out of province, so we got clients out in BC, we ship all over Canada now. So in BC, what we'll do is we'll say, what's the nearest big city? Like, is it Kelowna? Is it Surrey? Like, where's kind of the area? And we can ship to a depot there.
Yep.
And then you can either pick up just like you would at our factory, or we can do the last mile and arrange that for you too and go right to your door. So it's really easy.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like it's actually less expensive than you might think to ship this huge box to someone's house. Now, do they have to be there to get it? Like, do I have to rearrange my whole schedule, drive up to the cottage, be there, and blah, blah, blah? Like, how does the delivery work? You're welcome to be there if you want. You really don't need to. Most people are kind of really excited. They want to kind of see it show up. But it's a sealed package. It's impossible to steal. It's like 1,000, or it's like 2,000 to 4,000 pounds. It's sealed up. It can sit for a couple of days, a week, even, or two. Like, as long as you get to it within a month, it's going to be fine sitting there. I got you. So get to it when you get to it, and it'll be there when you're ready. Okay, Michael Kolodny says, would be great to get one. My sister's in Niagara, my brother in Windsor, and I'm in Noelville, about 5-hour trip. See, if you get extra space for them, they can stay there. And then Lori Ann Hunt says, let's get a convoy to New Brunswick. A convoy of trucks being we go to Skadoosh. We go to Skadoosh, which is I was saying, oh yeah, we shipped to Skudok. We skipped to Skudok, but it's called Skadoosh. I learned it last week. Thank you. Yeah, Jillian Holden Warren is like, let's do this. I see you. Jeanette Rossignol, I see you as well. Oh, this is so fun. Okay, so we figured out the shipping thing. If someone's worried about even, I don't know, permitting, or they're freaking out about whether or not they can do something like this, it sounds like you're saying it's actually a lot easier than you think. No, because we make everything right here, we have got engineered drawings. My wife is very meticulous about making sure it's like high standards. The engineers have signed off on everything, so that if in the event you do need a permit, it's just usually some type of a mafia fee and you're good to go. And so, in terms of the build process, we've got a manual that's the real in-depth, like the Carry version of the manual, 35 pages, where every screw is going. Mm-hmm. We've got a build video that's step-by-step. You're going through the whole process, how to do the foundation, how to do the floor, how to do the walls, how to do the roof. You are describing the difference between me and my wife when we're assembling stuff, right? I want to read every single page, every phrase, every character of the manual. I want to lay out all whatever things, and I'm going to follow that manual to a T. My wife was like, "Can we just put this together, please?" Yeah, that's me. I'm your wife. So okay, So we also have the Dave version, which is like literally like front view of the Bunkie, a few color coded things, side view of the Bunkie, a few color coded things. Don't screw it up. Okay. Go have at her. Go. Yeah. And so you do have videos and like step-by-step stuff, but watching people walk up a ladder by themselves and just holding onto a thing, clearly it's not intimidating, right? I mean, if you do as a team, yeah, it's not intimidating at all. It's not a one-man project. I'm not gonna pretend like you can just go there and build it by yourself. But yeah, if you got some extra set of hands, you can do it. Brittany Papp says, my mom's friends hired me to build stuff. I can build this Bunkie. Yeah, all caps. That's cool. Now, you did mention there was a gentleman and his grandson, right? He called you. Yeah. And he was like, and I think you were saying he's a man of few words, right? Didn't he call you and say like, I want to build this with my grandson? Yeah. Let me show you. I kind of got to see this guy. He's just an awesome dude. So hold on. His name is, I think it was back in 2018 or 19. This is Lynn Hago. Yeah. And that's his grandson there in the green shirt. Yep. Okay. And so this is them building their Bunkie together in the aftermath. And Melissa White says, I can just imagine how wonderful it will smell inside, right? That really does. Yeah. Oh, and after a good smudge, Melissa Miigwech. So Lynn's story was that, yeah, like he was so deliberate about, I want to build this with my grandson. That was his whole thing. And I think about him a lot, because there's people like the Chris Cummings of the world, right? That can just say, I love you, man. Right. You said that a couple times already in this live stream, right? And and I'm expressive. I can do that too. Right. But I think about people like Carrie, my wife, and especially her dad. They built our house together. I can show you that picture too, actually. Hold on. Yeah. So hold on. There's that whole concept of love languages, right? Some people speak with love with verbal, some people with acts of service, some people with gifts. Yep. This is Carrie, like at the, I think it was probably last time you came to our house, there's a hole in the ground, right? We're building the foundation. That. Yep. Right. And this is us post foundation.
right? This is friend. So this is Carrie, smoke show. This is David without a beard. This is our friend Cindy. Now, I went over to Cindy's house a while ago, and I helped her build her foundation like a year or two before. And that's what gave us the idea of like, hey, we can do this too, right? Then my friend Paul, the engineer, and then my father-in-law Al here, right? And I get to go over to Cindy's house now it's all finished, and I get to say, hey, like I helped there, I helped build that. And they get to come over to our house and say, I helped build that too. There's something really powerful about that.
Like my blood, sweat, and tears are literally in your concrete that holds up your home where your family is.
Yeah,
I guess, but you don't create blood when you're building a bunkie. Just so we're clear.
This is again my father-in-law building. This is for HGTV. We're filming for HGTV. This is Bryn. If anyone's talked to Bryn on the phone, this is Bryn in real life helping us build. And I think about this a lot, that we were trying to build something and people just show up and they help, and that's how they say I love you.
Christina Pringle says, my dad shows love by building bookshelves for my kids. He would love to help us build a bunkie. I think that's the vibe you're talking about, right? This is, Christina Pringle's not alone. There's a lot of people that could deepen love connections doing this build, right?
Yeah.
Michelle Johnson says, yeah, that's powerful. We don't want to get into too much Q&A, but someone did ask, this Helena Simar says, do you need to put it on a foundation or can it just sit on something else? Packed GA? I don't know what GA means.
I'm not sure. Probably gravel aggregate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can put it on something like gravel and then put some maybe patio stones down, like gravel like this. That would work. So most people go with kind of the deck block solution, build the kind of like a micro deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while we're on the line here, I'd like to show you this, Chris. I don't know if you've seen this before. So this is, I think you guys can see that well. This is the factory when we first got it.
I do see it. Yep.
Yeah. New home of Bunkie Life. So it's an empty, dusty building. Right. And it's, when I think about the love.
What does it say on the floor?
It says, I don't know if let me try to zoom in here.
It's tough to see.
Hold on. Let me open this and zoom in. So see on the floor here?
Yeah. New home of Bunkie Life 2021.
That was just somebody with writing it in the dust.
The floor, dirt on the floor.
And this is what's developed, right? So I don't know if any of our staff members are watching, but when I think about the idea of love language, right? And you can't really say you love your coworkers. That's an HR violation in a lot of ways. But this is what we've built. And I hope that everybody feels, that's Carrie building with her dad again. Hope everybody feels that feeling of like, hey, I helped build that. Because it's weird. Since Dragon's Den, people come up and they interview our family and they go, oh, like, look at this business that you and your wife built. It's always about me and Carrie. And I'm always like, we didn't build anything, right?
Oh, the community built it, right? This is a whole
community.
It's a massive loving community. Do you know how many have you delivered? Like ballpark.
It's in the thousands. I couldn't count at this point, but it's in the thousands. And the
There's
people,
a huge alumni group.
The alumni group, I just want to say, I hope when you look at these type of things that are happening, and Canadian business is actually like growing, and we're doing this, and we're doing it, I think, from a place of trying to grow our Canadian community, right? When you see that happening, I hope that you feel like it's a win for you, right? Because like you helped build that. Like, I hope you guys know that, right? You really did, and it supports a lot of people and helps a lot of families all across Canada, and now even in North America as well. So
Debbie just said, my dad helped build a bunkie. Debbie, that's amazing, right? This is what we're talking about. Now someone else was saying, have we done the draw? Have we done the draw? We're going to, no.
Yeah,
we're excited to gather. And we found that, and David and I were talking about this, we found that the Bunkie Life community is amazing. And it's actually forming friendships with people. People are connecting outside of your lives. People are connecting outside of this because they meet in the Bunkie Life, future Bunkie Life owners group and this kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
Now let's talk about the prize, dude.
Oh yeah, we got to mention the prize.
Because it's kind of wild to me. Like I don't know if this will show up, but I have legit goosebumps right now. It's probably not going to zoom in, but the fact that you're giving away a $20,000 bunkie, Tracy Dunstan, I see your goosebumps. Like the fact you're giving away a $20,000 bunkie is kind of exciting,
Well, sorry, try to catch up, because it's not a $20,000 bunkie; it's a $13,500 bunkie.
Okay, a $20,000 prize.
Right. Yeah. So we're amazingly blessed that we have had really amazing, like made in Canada, Canadian businesses come alongside us and be like, yeah, we're on board, right? Let's do this. And so this year we decided let's bring everybody on board and let's kind of put this like Uber prize together. Uber
So
prize.
I'm going to just show that on my screen quickly here. So you've got a couple of other people who've come in to help you with this prize, right? So
Yep.
Can you tell us very quickly about these folks?
Okay, so Havelock Metal, they're from Havelock, obviously, and they've been serving our clients for 2-3 years now.
Yep.
They're not the cheapest company in the world. They're the best service. You call them, you get an actual human being on the phone, and they have a great quality product. And just you email them, and they'll know. Oh, it's the Haven Bunkie. I got your package. Boom! It'll be at your house next Tuesday.
That's for the roof, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then tell me about these guys.
Cubic Mini Wood Stoves from Quebec. They make. I found these people because people kept emailing me and saying, "Oh, I love this Cubic Mini Wood Stove." So it was more like the Bunkie Life communities found these people. They make a little tiny, cutesy little stove that you can put in a bunkie and it just works. And you can mount it on the wall. And there's a mini roaster now that you can roast things in. There's little tiny, tiny little utensils to sweep it out and move your thing around. And it's wild. It's just a wild, cool product.
Next up, we got the Tradecraft heating. I remember I saw the video of you talking to Wes about this. He was saying that you could actually do this off grid. He's got an air conditioner and a heater you can run off grid, which blew my mind.
Yeah,
what's going on with these guys?
So they're from Brantford. They serve mostly Ontario, but they're like just an incredible group. They would probably, like Wes is the kind of guy you just know. You talk to him, he's going to help you, right? He's gonna if he can't help you, he'll find someone that can help you. And that heat pump is like, it's kind of a bad name. Like they didn't brand it really well. It's a heat pump, but it also can air condition you all summer. So it's going to keep you hot and cold. It's an awesome little thing. And I've got actually a heat and cool our house with that.
I'm just looking in the chat here. Teresa Thurian said, my husband and 2 teen daughters have a 2019 Bunkie and bathroom Bunkie, and we love them. The 4 of us built them together within the past 1.5 years. So that just goes back to the community thing. Okay, so, and then tell me about Scott, who I met as well at Haven Sleep Company. What are they doing there?
So they are a made in Canada mattress company, similar to like the companies where they ship you the Bunkie and then you or the mattress and you blow it up, right? It's like bed in a box kind of concept. But they've really emphasized like as much Canadian material as they can. I think it's like 85% Canadian everything, and really, really high quality, right? And awesome customer service. And they were also on Dragon's Den as well last year.
That's cool. So that's the bed, and then you've got a bed frame. Yep.
So this is Carl from Quagga Designs. It's a really, really cool. You got to kind of watch the video, but it's like a slot bed. That slots together. There's no screws. There's no glue. It's just boom, boom, boom. You can make it a queen, or you can stretch it and make it a king, like just by adjusting the number of slats. It's pretty cool.
That's kind of genius.
Yep.
Yeah. Holly Leptovin said, love the Canadian owned thing on all of this vibe, right?
Yeah. We've basically hand selected everybody as Canadian.
Yeah. And then tell me about Sanson and Fedis.
So Sanson is a log home stain company, and we found them because like we just needed a good quality product for our product. So they emphasize quality. It's water-based. You can wash it off your hands. I've stained every single Bunkie since I heard about them at the factory, my own personal Bunkies, Sanson stain. And then Fedis makes custom fabrication out of metal. So they can do like a sign with your family name on it. They can do a fire pit with like Johnson's Cottage, that type of thing.
Yep.
And also young family business, like just like us, like in the thick of it, just growing. So like we connect with them and we jive with them.
I can see in the comments here someone saying it's a souped up Bunkie, and I'm like, yes, it is.
Souped up Bunkie.
Actually, Melissa White says, I'm totally all caps enjoying the Zoom. It's amazing to be part of it. I'm excited for it. I have to agree. Like one of the cool things is when we get to gather live virtually, right? I mean, it would be hard for all of us to fly into some hotel ballroom and do this, but the fact that we all get to do this together and be part of a community is pretty extraordinary. Now, I think it might be a good time for us to show the Haven Prize walkthrough, right? So you and I were at the factory a couple of days ago, and every time we tried to go video, there was another bunch of people coming in to tour it, right? So I was impressed with how many of your people at the factory were touring people around the factory and touring people through Bunkies. Like it was just like this, and it's snowing outside, the weather wasn't great, and yet people were still coming through. Anything you want to say before we roll that video?
I love everyone that works at our factory. We've got a great team of people. I'll just say that, I hope that, hope they know that because they do a lot and they are every single person there is like, I'm the guy that makes beams. I'm the guy that makes gables, but like, I'm cool to jump out there and show Jane, who just popped in at 2:00, even though you kind of should have got an appointment, Jane, they just, they're happy to do that. And it makes all the difference.
Yep. So let's see if we can, we're going to pull up another window on the screen here. We're going to play the quick walkthrough David and I did at the factory. Hey, that's the Bunkie Life factory. And look who I have over here. Dave, go ahead. Tell us, this is the prize, right? What is this one called?
Well, this is part of the prize, right?
Okay.
It's a huge package. It's $20,000. It's the Haven Bunkie with loft is a big part of the package, as well as all the other Canadian-made partners that we've added to the overall package. So stain, roofing's included. There's a cubic mini wood stove included in it. There's a Haven mattress, the whole 9 yards, but it's all part of it.
And this has a loft. Look at the size of this thing. Look at the size. Take us inside quick. Go
on in.
I love the carpet.
So yeah, it's 100 square feet down here on the ground floor, as well as 80 square feet of excellent loft space up here.
Wow.
And the cool thing about it is in most areas of Ontario, and even most areas of BC, Canada, etc., no permit required. And you'll notice, as a super tall dude, or tallish dude, I can fully stand up in this loft.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah. So that's the prize. It includes, like I said, the Queen mattress from Haven, a Queen No Fuss Plus bed frame made by Quagga Designs, also Canadian made. Canadian made wood stove, Canadian made heat pump from Tradecraft. Stain, the roof, it's all included. So the whole package is what we're giving away this year.
What roof, meaning over and above the wood? What's on the roof?
So this is the deck board that's included in the Bunkie Life kit.
Okay.
And then on top of it, we've included a Havelock metal roof, which is part of the price.
Amazing. All right, let's go back in the studio.
Okay.
I'm just watching the prize blow up, or the chat blow up. Like Allison McClellan says, "Eek!" with all caps.
I'm curious in the chat. Did you get an impression of that was what the prize was? Because a lot of people thought the Bunkie itself was 20 grand. If you're just kind of clicking through and you're like, oh, whatever. Did everyone get the concept that we had all of that in the prize? I'd love to hear
I
yes
think so.
Or no. Let's see.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Amanda Keller in the YouTube chat says, "I love this so much." Family Raposo says, so nice. CCAC says, amazing. The cubic mini stoves people are loving. In the YouTube chat is just blowing up. It's huge. It's going so fast. So Matthew Grayson says, I thought it was just the Bunkie. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Matthew Grayson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I also skim.
Unless someone else said, let's go, I got to go to bed. We're getting there, my friend. We're so close. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask, and this is, we don't have it rehearsed yet, but, if there are other Bunkie owners on here on the Zoom, if you can raise your hand, if you are a Bunkie owner and you're happy with your Bunkie, we'd love to bring you on for like 30 seconds. Maybe we got time for one or two, or maybe three, but probably just one or two. If you can raise your digital hand, and maybe we'll bring you on the Zoom. While we're going to try to connect that, I'm going to ask our team to play the video 6 with Chris and Jessica. While that's teeing up, David, can you tell us a bit about Chris and Jessica?
Yeah, Chris and Jessica came to our Bunkie Life barbecue that a lot of you came to. It was like our grand opening party in September. Mm-hmm. And we had burgers that we were struggling to keep cooked and not give everyone raw meat because there's a lot more people than we thought. And so we're struggling with these burgers, and they showed up and they had literally an old school photo album of their build and all the steps they took. And it was like a little Polaroid thing, and it was so cool. And they told their story, and they're very cute.
Yeah, cool. So while you're watching this, if you can raise your digital hand, if you do have a Bunkie and you want to give us a comment about what it's like having a Bunkie on your property, raise your digital hand in Zoom, and we'd love to bring you into the show live. And while we're just teeing that up, then let's play the Chris and Jessica video.
I think definitely the Canadian-made aspect was a big seller. And then we had seen, or at least I had seen on the Dragon's Den, that episode, which was really interesting. And I love Northern Ontario, and I've sort of had a dream for a long time to put up a Bunkie somewhere on some land. And Jessica here with her farm, she has 3 acres and has this plan for a bed and breakfast. And the Bunkies seem to be a really good fit for that application.
I saw Bunkie Life on, I think it was Facebook.
On Facebook.
There was a contest.
Right,
so
right, that's right.
Yeah, I entered the contest.
And so did I.
Right.
Right. There was a contest to win a Bunkie, basically. And so we started following it a lot. And then David's videos that he does, playing music and talking about the Bunkies, and it gets you interested. And you start to look at these online and pictures of other bunkies that people have built, and it was really, really neat just to see that and see like, yeah, that's something we could build seemingly fairly easy, which we did. Just the two of us built those bunkies. When we were building, it was amazing the number of vehicles that would just slow down as they passed the property to look, be like, what's going on over there? And I find now that it's stained and the roof is on, when you're coming up to the property from the main intersection, it's kind of like a beacon. You just like, oh, there it is, because it's a farm property, 3 acres and fairly bare otherwise. And now you just see it right away, and it's a nice piece. It just looks really good on the property.
We've had a lot of friends and family come by the Bunkie, and everybody is impressed.
And we love it. We absolutely love it.
We're Chris and Jessica, and this is our Bunkie life story.
I love it. Hey, listen, I just heard from Cherry. Says whether we win or not, we seriously need to buy one as well. So affordable to winterize for our cold winters. Kathleen Cesarian says, win or not, I have to buy several, one for each of our adult married children to stay in when they visit. It's kind of amazing to see, the people that have been enjoying it. Beverly Escott says, Bunkie is my retirement plan with a big heart. So Teresa, I understand that you are in your Bunkie right now. Like, how epic is that? We're going to see if we can unmute you for a second here. And David, do you have any questions for Teresa?
What are you hitting your Bunkie with right now, Teresa?
What am I heating with?
Yeah, well, first of all, welcome. Thank you for doing this. It's awesome.
I couldn't tell you the actual name, but it is a propane little furnace heater on the side. And,
is it a Martin? Is it a Martin?
It's amazing. I couldn't tell you that. I'm sorry, my husband.
Can you? Is there any way to zoom this over?
You're gonna see all my junk.
Don't force her to do that, Teresa. We're just so excited that you came onto the live, and we know you probably got like a wireless connection and all kinds of stuff.
You can see it's way over in the corner.
No, unfortunately, your video it got a bit choppy there. So tell me, what would you say to someone who's thinking, well, gee whiz, if they win a Bunkie or not? Like, if someone was thinking about getting one, what would you say to them? That has this Bunkie been a good idea for you?
It has been amazing. We were hesitant at the very beginning, but my daughter's husband and I, we built it, and it's been amazing. My daughters love using it when their friends are over, gets them out of the house, so we don't see them in the house. And we live out here in the summertime. So love cool. it.
And when we talk about the meaningful connections and building it and stuff, like, did you participate in the building of it?
All 4 of us did the build.
And was it intimidating? Like, if you're talking to someone who's freaking out, right? If someone's thinking, well, gee whiz, I don't know if I can do it, what would you say to them?
I would just say, I think the more intimidating part was when we got to the roof and we had to do the metal roofing. We do have a loft, and we just planned it out between my husband and I, and for safety purposes, and got through it weekend after weekend until we had it done. So we have no problem. If we did another, we would do it.
Yep. What's funny is someone in the YouTube chat just said, OMG, please never announce the winner. I just want to wait forever.
I think you paid that person to say that.
We're giving away a $20,000 Bunkie. I think, a bit of pregame is okay. It's 20,000. It's not like a chocolate bar here. And this is M. Sampson said, scam alert, red flag. Yeah, there's no scams. This is just people who love this community who think.
I think we have one of the winners on this Zoom. I don't know if we can get her on, but I think Joanne Lauren is somewhere on. Here's a message. She's DMing me.
Joanne, are you on? That's cool. We've got Paula Fedorak. Yeah, let's see.
Paula's not like a win. She's not a winner, but she's a Bunkie Life owner.
Yeah, Bunkie Life owner. So Paula, hey, welcome. I'll unmute you there. So you've got a Bunkie. What would you say to someone who's thinking, gee whiz, I think I like this community and I like the idea of a Bunkie?
It's great. We built it with my husband, myself, my sister, and her husband. We built it together, and it was a great bonding experience. And we plan on having a whole Bunkie village.
Nice.
So we're working.
Amazing.
Unfortunately, our summers aren't so long, so to build it and decorate it and all that stuff, it takes a couple of years, but that's okay because it's all part of the fun.
Mm-hmm. So how long did it take you to build it, like from the time when you got the package to the time you could walk in through the door?
We worked on it only on weekends, and I would say 1 month.
Yep. And then David, you've seen people put it up in 2 days flat, right? But I guess
It
you
depends
need
on the kit. So I think Paul, you got, correct me if I'm wrong, you got the Haven or the 2020?
Yeah.
So that's the big one that we were in. So I mean, some people put that up in 1 day. That's insane. That's usually the people that don't read the instructions. I find if people read all the instructions, it slows them down by at least a day or two.
Right.
Yeah, like the Haven, like, yeah, a long weekend probably if you're like if that's all you're doing. But if you're just kind of chipping away at it, like Paul was saying, you can do it over a month or so. That's fine.
So the difficulties we had with the Haven was the height. How do we get up there? So we've got scaffolding and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like $50 to rent from like the local timber mart or whatever, and it's the best $50 you'll ever spend. Or just hire a roofer. Like, life is short. Hire a roofer on that particular job.
Yeah,
but that was all part of the fun. We wanted to do the whole thing ourselves.
That's awesome.
Paula, thank you for being here. Just before you go, I'm curious, like, was this something you saw and got right away, or did you hum and haw on it for a bit first? Like, did you postpone making the decision?
I did the same as the people in the video. I did the contest and didn't win, so I bought 2 bunks. I'm waiting for my chalet as well. So yeah, the village.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Paula, for being here. Really appreciate it. A little round of applause for you, Paula. Thank you. David, some people were asking in the chat about the dog ones too. I think people named them.
So if you're just kind of tuning in, like this is your only live stream, then two nights ago we did like all these surprise announcements. We released a version of the Haven that's got the loft fully extended. It's called the Haven Ultra. So that's on our website now. And then the guys at the factory are pretty creative, and they came up with kind of 3 prototype dog houses. We're pretentiously calling it the Bark House series.
Bark House, clever.
And so the idea was that go and vote on it. We already assigned all the points. So everyone that their names were picked, which we'll announce after the contest. So we're gonna do the contest finale announcement, who won the contest, and then if you want to stick around for the after party, we'll do the doghouse names. But basically, we said, hey, name prototype A, B, and C, and if we pick your name, you're gonna get extra chances to win. So we've already tallied that. That's already on the system, but we'll announce the winners of that later, just so we don't, people are wanting to hear who won.
That's cool. So Andrew Sayer says, we just bought a bunkie and we're waiting for the snow to go. Build it. I might even buy an outhouse bunkie too.
Cool.
Jenny Mitchell says, my baby is asleep and dreaming of bunkies. That's really fun. I wanted to share a quick story of a 30-year-old on the day of his 30th birthday. And the whole idea is that oftentimes we put things off, right? We say to ourselves, one day I'm going to do this, or one day I'm going to do that. And then, something happens, right? So here's the thing. 30-year-old on the day of his 30th birthday, he and his girlfriend go into the doctor's office, and the doctor says, listen, we just took a dot off the girl's leg, and it turns out that it's Kaposi's sarcoma. And, the two of them look at each other like, what the heck's Kaposi's sarcoma? And the doctor says, well, it's a type of cancer. The two of them, what? They said, you have to hear the next part. Okay. It's a type of cancer that only makes itself evident when an HIV carrier goes from having HIV to full-on AIDS. And the two of them are like, wait, what? What? Now, by this point, they've been living together for 4.5 years. After year 1, the girl was saying, let's get married. After year 1, the guy was saying, later, got to get more money, got to save, got to get the best ring money can buy. We're just putting things off in the later box. They didn't know how to tell their friends they got this news, so they didn't tell anybody. And at that point in sort of medical advancement, it would take about 2 years to, what's the word I'm thinking of? It would take about 2 years to get, or 2 weeks rather, to get a diagnosis back on an AIDS test. So the AIDS test goes in, it takes 2 weeks. They're holding on so tightly to each other. They're holding on so tight. 2 weeks go by, the doctor calls them up and says, okay, get back in here. We don't do this stuff over the phone. They go back into the doctor's office, and the doctor says, listen, we got the pathology report back and the results from the AIDS test. Turns out neither of you have HIV or AIDS. The two of them are like, wow. And then the doctor says, listen, the pathologists, I also owe you an apology. It turns out it's not Kaposi's sarcoma. It's a random mole. You're totally fine. You're fine. Like, Are you kidding me? I had someone last week say, well, I'd sue the bastard. No. Would you necessarily sue them for being healthy? I don't know. But guess what happened shortly after they got this diagnosis? When they both find out that neither of them have HIV or AIDS, neither of them have Kaposi's sarcoma, and neither of them have cancer. They're just like, oh, you're totally fine. There's a random mole. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of my office. Have a nice day. I'll tell you what happened. I asked her to marry me. Because that was my 30th birthday. And after year one, Sheila was saying, let's get married. And after year one, I was saying, later, I got to get stuff in order first. I got to figure out the permits. I got to figure out how to do the ring stuff. I need to figure out if we can get a venue. I got to book all the things. I got to do the stuff. And I just keep putting things off. And you put stuff off in this later box. And it turns out later never comes. We just push things just far enough that it's not uncomfortable anymore. And then we have this sort of kick. You could call it like, I got a kick in the backside. Something kicked me on my 30th birthday and said, hey, Chris, pay attention, buddy. Time's ticking. You got to take action on this stuff you've been putting off. I asked her to marry me. It took us about 16 months to get married. That's a whole other story, but we ended up doing it. We ended up conceiving our first child within a month. We now have 3 children. We have a 16-year-old boy, a 15-year-old girl, and an 11-year-old boy. All 3 of them play hockey. We build a rink in the backyard every year. I can tell you, every fiber of my being knows, and I can verify this, there's no way I'd be married right now to the most incredible woman who's fundamentally altered my life. There's no way I'd have 3 of the most incredible children in my life if I didn't have a severe kick in the backside to take action on something that I was really kind of afraid to do, and I didn't know if all the details were going to fall in line. So my question for you, my friend, all of us on this thing here tonight, my question for you is, what are you waiting for? Don't wait. Don't wait to find a way to do meaningful connections with your family. Don't wait to pull your child out of school or your grandchild out of school for an afternoon lunch date or take them for an ice cream cone. Don't wait to call your parents to say that I love you. Don't wait to call someone that you haven't talked to in a long time and just say you're really important to me. You need to seize it right now. Now, I'm not talking about bunkies. I'm talking about everything in life. Like if you're called to do something, but you're putting the brakes on because you're afraid of how things might roll, just know that sometimes, my friend, we just need a severe kick in the butt. And I am so darn thankful that I got the kick in the butt. For some of us on this, it might be, oh my gosh, you know what? I need to build stronger relationships with my children or my grandchildren or my parents-in-law or some other in-laws. And maybe you have a cottage, maybe you don't. Maybe you're going to build something in your backyard. Maybe you're going to build it on a vacation property or a farm or something. But if you're inspired to do something, don't put it off. Whether or not you win tonight, I just want to say, get connected with this community. Whether or not you ever buy a bunk, get connected with this group of like-minded people, because these are good people who have integrity, who come from the right place. And I just want to, as we start to close this out and as we're getting ready to announce the winner, I just want to say, David, dude, it is an absolute freaking honor to be involved with this. It's an honor to be invited to help you host this incredible giveaway for, a $13,000 or some odd $1,000 bunkie and then a $4,000 air conditioning unit and $1,200, roofing and all that for a total of $20,000 for a giveaway. I just think is amazing. And the fact that you've done this so many times now is astonishing. So I'm going to see if I can bring David back onto the screen here and just say, buddy, thank you for this opportunity. And let's see if we can do a draw. And I think you and your daughter created a little video for the draw, right? Tell me about this video.
This is like the emotional support video for the people that don't win.
Emotional support video. So
Yes.
Some of us have an emotional support dog if I don't win contest, but you have an emotional support video. Okay.
Yeah. I just want to circle back to your story. That blew my mind. That I hadn't heard that story before. And
Dude,
wow.
I got a severe kick and I'm so darn thankful, although it was freaking terrifying. So my wife was a teacher at the time, and she and I'd get up in the morning and we'd have a little cry, and then she'd go off to school to go teach grade 6s, I think it was. And I would lie on the bed and stare at the ceiling and just cry. Like, it was freaking nuts. And
Wow.
and then we go back into the doctor's office and she's like, "Oh, just kidding. You're healthy." It's like, sorry, pardon? What?
It's also partly an indictment of the Canadian healthcare system as well. But I mean,
Just like,
Wow.
But at the same time, someone said I would sue them. I was like, I'm not going to sue them for being healthy. That's just not going to happen. Exactly. We're going to move forward, and I'm going to use this as a catapult. And every time I'm thinking about waiting, like I actually had wristbands made that say, don't wait. I'm out of them now, but I'm giving them to friends. Like, don't wait, man. If there's something that tickles you, if there's something that, touches you and says, we should do this, like, just go for it.
Powerful. It's powerful, man. It is.
Yeah. So tell me about who's in the video. Tell me about your daughter, and then we'll play this video.
Yeah. So this is, I created this video like 7 years. Well, one of the first contests we ever did, I created this video. Evie's very small and tiny. She sells her bunny in this video. And I can't top this video. Every time I watch this video, I laugh my head off. So anyways, this is for all the people that don't win.
That don't win tonight. This is the emotional support video. I love it.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have gone by. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes. Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart, and I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever, and we'll only be making it right, 'cause we'll never be wrong. Together we can take it to the end of the line. Your love is like a shadow on me all the time. And I don't know what to do, and I'm always in the dark, living in a powder keg and giving off sparks. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Once upon a time I was falling in love, but now I'm only falling apart. There's nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart.
I love it. Should we do a draw, dude? The YouTube people in particular are freaking out. They're like, there's no way there's a draw. This is not happening. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This is
there's kind of like three levels. They're like, YouTube people are kind of just very cursory people. All people on Facebook are like, yeah, I'm going to like them on Facebook. And then there's the people that are like currently on the Zoom. And I see Melissa Dent has got like a background of a Bunkie behind her. That's like next level.
Class.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Teresa's actually physically in her actual Bunkie. So next level. So I don't want to disparage the YouTubers that are true blue YouTubers, but I'm just saying
we're glad you're here, YouTubers.
Yeah.
In fact, Lana LeBlanc on YouTube says, well, that definitely got me going. I need my son to be close, having 2 boys and losing one. See, this is tough, man. This is the idea of connecting as human beings. Stephen Harper says, Stephen Harper's, what? Congratulations. Oh, Stephen, you're funny. Nice YouTube name. Ellen Dirk says, I'm calm, really not excited. Calm, CALM. John DeVos says YouTube is bonkers. Jamie Sampson on YouTube says, we're patiently waiting. LOL. That's funny. Bar Gans says, no more Sunday sermons, please.
Okay.
Let's do the draw, brother.
Okay. So before we get to the grand finale, which is, of course, the $20,000 package, I want to talk about the top 10. So for those of you who participated, everything you do in the contest, it's calculated by this platform called UpViral, and they count all the points. If you shared it, you get so many points. You get so many points, and they're all chances to win. And so the people that got in the top 10, I want to really reward those people, right? And so we have special kind of prizes for them. All right, and I'm going to read them out if it's cool. It won't take too long. So in the top 6 to 10, so they were the people that finished 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. They're going to get Bunkie Life Connection cards. Let me show you one. There's a little pack of playing cards, and they're your standard ace, king, queen, whatever.
Yeah.
But on in the inside of each card, there's a little question, the kind of conversation connection kind of question start, like a conversation starter.
Yep.
If you could invent a holiday, what would it be? That's the 9 of spades. See that?
Yep, I do totally.
Yep. So that's the concept of the Bunkie Life cards. And so they're going to get that. We'll mail it to you. Teresa Blackford from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Thank you for contributing so much. Kelly Desjardins from Kirkland Lake. Christina Hay from Georgina. TJ Cannell or Quesnell from Toronto. Nicole Oosterhoff, who I know from high school, from Sarnia, and Jeff S. Hancock. You guys rocked it. Thank you so much.
So how did they get that? Tell us more about how
We're
they
going to mail it
got
to you.
that
Just email me and say I'm Teresa Black. Well, we have your email too.
Yeah, we have your email. So no, but tell the rest of our audience, how did they get that status? What happened?
Yeah, how did they get that status? So they went on there. They did all the things. They watched all the live streams. They participated. They shared it with their friends, and that got them.
And the way that contest software that you're using, it takes the points. So every time they did a certain activity, they got more points. If they have more points, they got more entries. So people who were involved in the Facebook, they had more points and more entries and more opportunities to win. Same thing with people who got into the Zoom live. It was because they got so active in the Facebook. So it starts with one entry and then you get more and more involved, right?
Yep. That's basically the idea. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. And then so the top 3, 4, and 5, they're going to get a $500 credit towards a Bunkie Life purchase.
Amazing.
Okay. My wife has to get me to tell you to say no cash value. I'm not sure.
No cash value.
No cash value.
Yeah.
So Jim from Kincardine and Tasha from Dundas, Ontario. You probably know who you are. You worked your butt off. We'll email you. Okay. So congrats. And then at the top 2, they're going to get $1,000 towards a Bunkie Life purchase.
Amazing.
Okay. That is Emma Craig from Toronto and Gerald Yates from Grand Falls, Windsor.
Amazing.
Yeah. So congratulations, everybody. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts for like going out there and being like a little evangelist. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to call on Alexander in the YouTube. Alejandro Suarez says, before I started watching this video, my son was 5. He's graduating college now, and I'm still waiting for them to announce that.
Okay. It's 8:30. It's out there. Well, I guess if you're on the East Coast, that's pretty funny.
That's hilarious. Well played, Alejandro.
All right. Okay, so let's do the grand prize. You guys ready? I'm picturing a drum roll across the entire nation of Canada. We got
across
East
Canada.
Coasters on here. All right, let's get this going. Okay. Yeah, hold on. I gotta share my
Luck
screen.
is totally a factor.
Luck,
you, Monica,
luck
agree.
is the factor.
Luck
okay,
is the
so
factor.
just bear with me. Okay, drum roll. Okay, so I got to go pick more winners at random. 1. And the winner is Sherry. Now I've blocked off her email so you can't see it, but I can read it. It looks like Sherry Sutherland, perhaps. I'm gonna dive in deeper and do a little check, make sure she's a real person. Sherry Sutherland. Does anybody know a Sherry Sutherland?
Oh my gosh, good idea. If you know Sherry Sutherland, then you better blow up her phone right now.
Okay, hold on. Let me check this here for a sec. Okay, so she looks like she's done a lot of the stuff, which increased her chances and probably why she won. Okay, so what'd she do here? So,
okay, so she answered the questionnaire. She got involved. She got more points.
Yeah,
that's a legit human.
Okay, let me just check the answers though. Okay, yeah, that's the right answer there. Mike, yeah, that's right. Okay, undefined. Well, that one just has a click confirmed. That's probably why.
Crying Hippie says, I think she went to high school in Kingston.
Tradecraft. Yeah, that's right. Okay, she's legit. Okay, so she is our winner.
This is a legit human being. And oh my gosh, we have a full-on winner. Yeah. That's amazing. Someone else named Sherry says, you said my name wrong. Well, I got to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed you didn't say Chris Cummins. That's, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
But this is amazing. You should see the congratulations blowing up in the Zoom and in the YouTube and in the Facebook groups as well. I'm sort of monitoring all of them.
Okay, you take a second to send her an email and just invite her and let her know that she won.
Yeah. So if you know this person, please get them on the text them up. See if we can get them on live. I mean,
so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share. Sherry, she's on there. I'm sending you my private phone number, and I want you to call me as soon as possible.
Yeah. So so you're going to send an email to the email address that she used to enter.
Now on our which is, I can't say the exact email address, but there's a Sutherland in there. There's a Sherry in there. There may be some other ats, but also I wonder if that's her maiden name or her married name, because there's also Mom Burkett is on her entry. So it's either Sherry Sutherland or Sherry Mom Burkett. Does anybody know that. And it says Sydney on her location. So that could, I don't know, I'm assuming is there a Sherry, or is there a Sydney in Ontario? Or because mathematically half the people here are from Ontario. So mathematically, it's probably an Ontario, but let's just see. Congrats, Sherry. And if let's get you on the phone. I'm gonna make sure my phone's on. On now. Awesome. Okay. I've emailed Sherry. Sherry, call me. Montbriquet. Someone said Montbriquet is. Someone said Montbriquet is. Is there a Sydney in? Montbriquet is Cape Breton.
Cape Breton. Donald McGregor says Cape Breton, maybe.
People are saying it's Nova Scotia. Hold on, I got a text here. It's probably not her though. Don't text me. Call me.
Yeah, Shauna Marson says Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Kim Ross says congratulations, Sherry.
Okay, cool.
Jill King, cool. Congratulations.
This is cool.
Someone called. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to do some interlude music while we wait for a call, but then we can also take questions, right?
Yeah, we can totally take questions. I think it'd be really awesome. Now, tell me about the song that you chose to play tonight, right? Because I think this is really cool. While we're trying to rustle up the winner to get them here on Zoom, which I think we can probably do, tell us about the song that you want to play.
Okay, so this is a song called, it's an uplifting song. This is another bit of a salve for everyone who didn't win. It's called Peas and Carrots. And I actually proposed to Carrie this song.
You proposed to your wife, and you wrote this song to propose to your wife?
I wrote it actually in the early throes of our relationship, but that was a short period of time because I basically met her, told her I was going to marry her on the third date.
Yep.
Oh, hold on, I got a Montbriquet number. Hold on.
Hey, Hello? Can you bring your mic back?
Is this Sherry Sutherland / Montbriquet? Montbriquet.
We've got live.
Sir, can you guys hear this? Okay, is it okay if I put you on a live Zoom and Facebook? Yeah. And yeah, okay, cool. Can you guys hear us? Okay, Sherry Montbriquet, do you remember entering a draw from a crazy guy on the internet to win a Bunkie package?
Yes, I do.
Did you participate in this draw and do things to help your chances? Because I noticed you got 4,400 points.
Yes, I did actually. And I just finished doing some of them earlier today.
That's awesome. A last minute shopper. I like that. I'm the same way. Well, I wanted to say in front of everybody, congratulations, you won the prize package.
Thank you. I was watching it live on YouTube, and then when you were doing the draw, you were like drum roll, and I was like, "It's me!" And then you actually said my name. I couldn't believe it. I was joking when I said me, and then you said my name.
Wow! So how do you feel? Give us a window of how you feel right now.
I'm very excited.
That's so awesome. That's so great.
What do you want to do with it?
Yeah, what are we going to do with your Bunkie? Like, what was your reasoning for entering the contest?
I'm going to put it in my yard. I live right on the Mire River, so I'm put there. I'm in Cape Breton.
Okay, so you are Cape Breton. People were saying Montbriquet. Am I saying that right? Montbriquet.
Montbriquet, yeah.
And that's is that like a really Cape Breton like family name?
Yeah. My husband, his family's from Cape Breton.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
David, I wonder if just before we continue, if someone is interested in the Bunkie but they didn't win, how can they do it? Like, what do they do in order to get involved?
Well, you know what, Sherry, I'm going to tell everybody all about it. Okay, so I'm going to say, Sherry, we're going to call you tomorrow. We'll sort of define details and stuff. And once again, congratulations. This is really, really cool. And I'm glad it's someone from Nova Scotia. This is the first East Coaster to win.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So you got my number. I got your number. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for participating. Congratulations once again.
Amazing.
That's awesome. We got her on the phone.
Yeah. So tell me, if someone's interested in getting a Bunkie, how do they get it?
Yeah. So it's simple, right? David@bunkielife.com. Subject line, I'm in. Send. That's
just a 2-word email.
Right? Send. Just send.
Now, they don't have to know all the answers. They don't have to know for sure if their spouse says it's good or if they can do it. Just so like, I'm in, and they can book a call with you or a tour or what have you, right?
Yeah. And we can just figure it out over email. There's one of 5 things that are holding people up. And we have a solution for usually all 5 of those things.
Yep. Including financing and stuff. Like, how do you, wow, that's cool. Now, how about warranty wise? Like, if someone gets it and they freak out, like you said something about how neighbors need to like it. What is that warranty?
So we have kind of 3 warranties. One is if you don't love your Bunkie within 30 days, we'll take it back. No problem. We'll give you a full refund. Second is it's a 5-year replace or repair guarantee on any of your stuff. There's not a lot of things that can break in a Bunkie. It's usually like a window handle or something like that, and we'll just mail you a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third is the neighbors impressed guarantee. If they don't agree, you have the best looking Bunkie on the block, we'll personally buy them a beer and tell them to get their eyes checked.
I love it. I love it. Now, this is kind of where the after party sort of begins, right?
Sure. Yeah.
We can answer.
I didn't think I'd get a 2-minute callback. That was the fastest.
Yeah, that was amazing. So, tell me, we can answer some of the questions that come in the chat, but I'd love to hear this song, because I mean, one of the things that I think we all feel is so attracted to you as a person and you as an organization is your vibe, and the fact that you wrote this song, I think, is so cool. So, give us a quick intro, and then if you can play a quick song, and then we're going to come back for the after party that everybody wants to stick around for.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and Zoe Burst says, tell us the doghouse names. Can you do that quickly?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's part of the after parties. We
awesome.
have 3 doghouses, and my staff picked them, and I hope some of them are on this call. I don't know if Carrie's on here. I don't know if she is or not, but we'll try to get Carrie, Shannon, if anyone's on Zoom from the staff, maybe some of the guys from the factory. I'm not sure who was able to get on. It was very exclusive. This live stream was exclusive for everyone. So,
Roxanne Barker on the YouTube channel says that I was so moved by the 30-year-old story, I've decided I'm going to buy one. Thank you. My eyes are filled with tears. Roxanne, we're going to envelope you with love and say, welcome to the community. You're in for an absolute treat. Allison McClellan, I see you doing this little applause thing. I can see our whole Zoom chat. Like Jillian, you're nodding as well. Like the community you're joining as an alumnus who gets one of these Bunkies is something so much more than a wooden structure on your property.
Cool. Let me play Peas and Carrots for you guys. Actually, I got a better song, to be honest.
Okay.
I know that we'll play Peas and Carrots at some point. It's a great song.
Perfect.
But this is a good song for what, I mean, that I feel the same way. I want to go do something now that you've told me this story. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to build an even better Bunkie, Chris. I'm going to find a way, because that story inspired me too.
So if you can switch your mic to the guitar one, and I'm going to turn my screen off, and we're going to stick around for a while. We're going to do a full after party here. So stick around as long as you can. We'd love to have you.
This is one of my favorite songs. I didn't write it, but it's amazing.
My brother and me used to climb this tree. We were gonna build a little clubhouse about 6 feet off the ground. Drew the whole thing up. Needed wood and a dad's truck. But he was out of work that summer, and the truck only had one gear. He said, we'll do it next year. My buddies and me used to have this dream. We were gonna rent a little cabin way up in Montana, and we were gonna fish. Had the date all picked, but my old man got sick and the plan kinda disappeared. But we'll do it next year. Another day down, another week gone, always just talking about tomorrow. Can't beg, steal, or borrow, or make time. So you make plans and hope for the best. Life moves on so damn fast. Another 12 months flies on by, and you're still here. It's never quite next year. Never quite next year. My little boy and me, we went out to eat. He said, I can't wait till next year. And when I asked him why, he says, 'cause we going camping. We going to the ball game. We're gonna do all those other things he said we do next year. So when is it next year? Another day down, another week gone, always just talking about tomorrow. Can't beg, steal, or borrow, or make time. You make plans and hope for the best. Life moves on so damn fast. Another 12 months flies on by, and you're still here. It's never quite next year. Yeah, my old man, he was fading fast. He said, I'd sure like to see that Grand Canyon. So we just left, packed up the car and went. And I called in sick for work and drove till 3 a.m. There ain't no next year. Another day down, another week gone, always just talking about tomorrow. Can't beg, steal, or borrow, or make time. You make plans, hope for the best. Life moves on so damn fast. Another 12 months flies on by, you're still here. It's never quite next year. No, it's never quite next year.
David, the chat has been blowing up with, like, Elaine Schilfer says, what a great song.
It is an amazing song.
And in the YouTube as well, Brenda Caldwell says, amazing song. Thank you for the evening of inspiration, right?
You're welcome.
Yep. Let me just pull up here. There we go.
Thank you for coming.
Brenda DeFant Kinsey says, that is so real, right? It is. Terry Mason says, David, you're getting better every year with a bunch of hearts.
It's kind.
That's cool. Joe Fontes says, awesome song, David. Thanks for that. If this doesn't slap us all on our butts to get ahead and get it done now, I don't know what will. Thanks for the song. You've built a recording studio. Have you built a recording studio, Bunkie? Carlo is asking. Carlo Asagian.
Yeah, some people have, yeah. Yeah, it's a couple of them work really well as a recording studio, actually.
So this is where we're going to ask you to drop some questions into the chat, whether you're in the Facebook group or you're in the YouTube Live or you're in the Zoom. What would you like to know, whether it's Bunkie related or company related or human related? We're here. This is the really fun sort of after party. I think all of us are sort of stunned that it's come and gone already. Like there was the pent up, holy smokes, what's going to happen? You know, and I have a feeling that Sherry was stunned. You could tell from her voice she wasn't quite sure, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lori Ann Hunt is asking, so would a bathroom bunkie fit my motorcycle? I need a Rockwood, a bathroom bunkie, and a little one for my cat. For your cat. That's awesome.
So the bathroom bunkie is 6 feet inside. I don't know how long a motorcycle is. It depends on the motorcycle, I guess, right? But the dimensions are all in the individual things, and you could motor over to the factory. It's actually motor inside the factory, and then see if it'll fit.
Yeah. So actually, that's one thing, right? So people can book a phone call with you through the website, but shoot an email to David that literally just says I'm in, and it's david@bunkielife.com, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll figure out if you can come to the factory, come tour. If you can't, I think you guys also do Zoom tours, don't you?
We do. Yeah.
Like one-on-one. Yep.
Yeah. Maybe a little less people, but this idea. We can zoom into the thing.
So it looks here, Denise Spate, S-P-E-I-G-H-T, was saying, thanks so much for this exciting contest. It's been a joy learning about all the Bunkie fam and knowing that your commitment to connecting lives knowing that your commitment to connection lives in so many hearts. Cheers. Wow, that's a cool vibe. Holly Williams Smith says, thanks for your story, Chris. Don't wait. That's why we've actually ordered our Bunkie. We aren't getting any younger. Congratulations to Sherry. Julian Holden Warden says in all caps with like 5 exclamation marks, Barkhouse names, can't wait, lol.
Yeah, okay.
So
we'll do that. Let's not tease that anymore. I mean, we've been on, this is flown by for me, but some people have jobs, real jobs, right? Okay, tell you what, I'll start working on that, and you give me the best of the best question, then I'll answer
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And Melissa White, I'm sorry for your loss. And my aunt had many plans. Then she got cancer, and the next year never came. She passed before she hit 42. Right? It's tough to remember that we're just here for a short time, not a long time. Right? Kim Fair wanted to know, how many points did the top person get? Do we know? I don't think we know.
I don't know. I could look it up probably, but so at the start we used to show like this leaderboard, and you were trying to
and I think honestly, like that's not really the spirit of what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about contributing. Obviously, everyone can contribute, and some people are going to know a ton of people, and some people are going to know how to like really get involved digitally. But like a lot of the times, it's like people like Sherry who she participated, right? But I don't think she had a bajillion points. I think she had like 4,000 roughly points. I think I saw. So like mathematically, there's going to be that small fraction of people that just like blaze it, and then there's going to be the rest of us that just like, you know, contribute and maybe add a few friends. That's fine, you know. And I don't want it to be all about like a competition.
No problem. We're just curious, like roughly what the numbers were, because we got a bunch of other questions too. I'm curious, like Adam Young is asking, Bunkie question. This is from the YouTube view. How long would one typically last? I'm considering getting one, and I'm in the same area as your winner. Congrats, Sherry.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We're shipping a bunch to Cape Breton this summer for sure.
Yeah. So how long will one last? Like, do you know, is this like
so there's log cabins out there that are 100 years old, right? You can go to some of them like at heritage places. I'm telling everybody 25 years. I've had mine for like 7, and the key, or more than that, sorry, 8 years now, 2015. The key is obviously use a good stain, like a Stanson stain, and keep that on every 4 or 5 years. Make sure you, reapply it and put a good roof on it, so it's not going to get any water issues, right? If you can do that, it's a wood product. It should last, at least 25
really
years.
Long time.
Yeah. What might break is like your window handle or something, but that we can replace. It's not too big of a deal.
Terry Mason said, you asked us about voting on the Barkhouse Bunkie. I have a few recommendations. The bigger is not better. Ask your dog. My dog's told me. Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, so do you want me to share the? I'll share the concept of the Barkhouse, because Chris, you haven't seen this, right? So you're kind of coming in cold. So
yeah, totally.
So they're all designed by people.
Just before you do that, very quickly, Sharon Oliver asked financing, what's available, and when you started saying, I jumped up and down. Oh, I get it. So Sharon, Sharon Oliver is like, Sharon, what? Oh, but Sharon Oliver, financing wise, I think just shoot an email to David, says I'm in, and then you can get a call with David or someone on the team to talk about that, because it's possible.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And here's what I know about financing. Like, financing or not, this is not something that's you're going to use for one season, right? You know, so if you think of, let's say, a $13,000 purchase over 10 years is $1,300 a year. A year. Cost of ownership wise, that's kind of incredible, as opposed to, you can't get a studio apartment in Toronto for less than $2,300 a month, right? So
right. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. So great question, Sharon. Sock Puppety on YouTube said, I couldn't get the code word, so I had less points than I tried for, but hey, still enjoyed trying.
Cool.
That's good. Let me look here. Hopefully Sherry has her Bunkie delivered to Sydney. Just as many as you can on the truck, because we want them here on the island, Bunkie Island. This is from Charlene Morrison.
Yeah, I forgot to ask her if she was for sure. She's Cape Breton. Yeah, she's Cape Breton, she said. Yeah.
Now, Christine Kruzelnicki said, I want to get a wood-burning hot tub and a Haven Bunkie. So the wood-burning hot tub stuff, too, we haven't really gone into that. But if someone wants to tour that kind of jazz, they can, again, send you an email that says, I'm in, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you can, like, I'd say probably 45-50% of people just buy off the webs, or buy from, they call us and they order. You don't have to come to the factory, right? It's nice if you're close enough and you want to come see it. And a lot of people love the guys will take you into the factory and you can see how the bunkies are made. And that's a fun thing. I
think Sherry Gray is going to enjoy that, right? Sherry Gray in Zoom says, I love the Haven. We'll be touring in June on our road trip, 3 exclamation marks. So exciting to be part of this family connection. I think you're spot on. This is a big family connection thing. Cindy Mayer, you're fun. Cindy says, Chris, man, you remind me of Richard Dreyfuss. That's awesome.
An old Richard Dreyfuss or a young Richard Dreyfuss?
Well, I got the beard now and stuff. All right. So Sandra Jackson says, fun contest. Can't wait for our Bunkie to be delivered in the spring. Yeah. Awesome. Sandra, welcome to the family. You're really going to love this. Melissa White says, emailed him today. Was so nice to get the email back. Showed him where I want to build it, right near the water. Tara Latrell says, real great job over here. Had a great time. Thanks again. Appreciate the heartfelt stories. What would you say is your most favorite Bunkie layout, personally speaking, and how many engineers work on the team? Oh gosh, I think I saw your drawings plastered all over the boardroom on, like architectural drawings. But yeah, what's your fave?
So the 2019 Bunkie with loft, I own that one. It was one of the first loft Bunkies we ever did. And it's got a double door to the right. and it's got a deeper kind of thing going on. And so that lends itself to a lot of combinations you can do fun stuff with. The Haven is a square, and the door's in the middle. And so there's pluses that looks really sexy. And people love it for that reason. But in terms of the actual layout, like the offset door works really well. So, I mean, I'm not partial to any one particular Bunkie, but I do like the 2019, and it's got some cool features to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Lance and Shelley Peterson says, I guess we're buying 1 or 2, smiley face, on YouTube.
Thank you. That's great.
Honey says, would you consider mini playhouse bunkies for kids?
Yeah, as the factory kind of gets scaled up and stuff. Like right now, we were just so busy this past year just getting it going and getting the orders that we had out the door, which I think might happen this year too. We'll see. It was just like, okay, we'll shelf that under like 2023 or 2024. We'll do it next year. It's been our
when is next year?
Yeah. So, but the dog-houses, I think we're gonna probably do them this year if the people want them.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Beverly Escott says, thank you for the great contest, but as you said, the real job calls, so does my bed. Good night. Well, thanks for being here, Beverly Escott Leach. That's amazing. And Sherry says, I love the random draw. Kenny Warkenton says, I had about 10,000. It was more about referrals, and it was great to connect with so many people I'd never heard of Bunkie life. I can't talk enough about Bunkies. Are you hiring? Ooh.
We're always hiring good people, right?
Yeah, Kenny, if you're good, then great. But if you're not,
get out of here.
Yeah, don't send your resume if you're not a good person. But if you are, that's really cool. Let's look here. Allison Baldwin says a past winner had only 1 entry, so it's the luck of the draw if your name's selected, right?
Yeah, it's true. But usually it's someone that did something, right? Because you think about, you start with like, I think 50 points. If you just do the things, you're at like thousands of points. So that's like the chance, you know what I mean? Like probability wise, you've just increased your chances by like a bajillion percent. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And it's a probability thing, but at the same time, this is a software tool you're using that takes into account all of the number of entries that someone gets and then randomly selects from that pool. Okay, Mike Trites is really curious. How many total entrants were in the Bunkie contest?
I don't want to share that information because I feel like it's a bit of I don't want to share it.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't want to share it.
I just know there were a lot.
There's a lot.
And
yeah, just the exact right amount of people that were meant to be in part of the contest. That's how many.
Yep, fair enough. Let's look here. Still scrolling. Just a sec. Okay, bark Bunkie names, please. Alicia is going to hurt me if she doesn't get it soon.
Okay, so our staff is still all on. So I think it's Stacy and they all have different names though, because so what happened was we invited 1,000 people and then we realized later, oh wait, we didn't think to invite, like we thought that you could have extra people, but the 1,000 was the limit and we invited 1,000 people and then of course not everyone could come. And so people were going, oh, I can't come. So like, look at my wife is known as Kathy Yillette because Kathy Yillette told us, oh, I can't make it, but I'll, so I'm going to unmute Kathy Yillette, AKA my wife. How you doing there, Kathy? You looking sexy, Kathy. Don't tell my wife.
Hi, we just unmuted you to say hello.
Yeah.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going great.
And who's in front of you there? Who's that?
This is Owen. This is our youngest who is awake at 9 o'clock.
That's not good. Owen, you should be sleeping.
And Declan's also awake and partying.
This is classic.
So you have an air horn? Who wants to party? Beep, 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 beep.
Say hi, Daddy.
Hi, Declan.
Hi, Dad.
So do you guys know who won the names contest? Do we know?
The names?
Yeah.
I don't know who won it. I just know that I heard the names.
Do you know who won so we're talking about the doghouse names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the names. Like, I don't know who named them the names. I think I heard
Oh.
the names.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess what we have to do is we have to, as a team, figure that out. Because I told everybody at 4 p.m. Oh yeah, we got to pick the winners. So I don't know if that happened or not. Are we saying that probably didn't happen?
Picked. I just don't know who named who.
Okay. So let's announce the names, and if they'll know in their heart that was their name.
Exactly.
So do you want to read them out, or is Stacy on here, or is there someone that doesn't have 18 children?
Is on as well.
Okay, let's see if we can get. What's Stacy known as? Doug Stanholm, or?
Probably.
Bobby Joe. Wait, I see Rachel Peters looks very manly. Hold on, let's add this guy to the video. Hold on. Can I pin him too?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to pin him. I want to
spotlight.
Yeah. So this is Rachel Peters, our factory manager, also known as Justin Nurmi, Carrie's brother. He runs the factory.
Hey,
do you know who won? Justin, great job on those bark houses, buddy.
Thank you. Honestly, that was hard work from the team, and it really paid off.
Let me share them before we're talking about it, but I was interrupted. So this is the prototype A. This is Zach's dog, Zach from the guy that runs the Molar, and he's an awesome dude. This is his dog Rocky, right? And this design was designed by Gerbaz, I'm pretty sure. So he's kind of the main engineering guy. He's our engineering supervisor. To the earlier question about
that is a legit dog bunkie.
Yeah.
David, just while I'm here, and I realize that Tiffany Cowdy wants to know: has anyone got a bunkie on Manitoulin Island? Do you know?
Oh yeah, tons on Manitoulin Island.
Yep. Tiffany, does that answer your question? Tons. I think that means lots. Maybe not metric tons.
Okay, so thank you, Rachel Peters, for zooming in. I'm gonna get rid of you now,
guys.
Good to see you, Rachel. That was yeah. You're not Rachel. Can you tell us his name though?
That's Justin Nurmi, Carrie's brother.
Justin, great.
Also our factory manager. Oh wait, Sherry Hawthorne is there. I think this is Sherry Hawthorne, inventor of this particular bunkie. So let's add him to the spotlight. Is that it? Okay? Sherry, how you doing? Looking great, Sherry.
Oh,
so this is actually Scotty, who also he got muted. And then anyway, Scotty invented this bunkie that I'm showing you here. This is Gerbaz. Sorry, Scotty's one. I'm going to show you Scotty's one right now. Hold on. So this is prototype C. Nope, prototype C. This is Scotty / Sherry Hawthorne's bunkie, right?
Well played.
Yeah,
tell us the inspiration behind this bunkie, sir.
I wanted to build something that sort of matched the style of the Haven in the 2019, sort of give that sort of aesthetic. You know, if they have a matching doghouse bunkie right beside their Haven, I think everyone's going to love that, right? Especially the dog.
Fantastic. Okay. And whose dog? This is, I think it's Callum's dog, Holly, I want to say. Maybe his mom's dog. Okay, cool. So Callum is the guy we hired right out of high school, and he's been actually like fantastic. So
yeah. Callum's a great kid.
Yep, absolutely. So that's the prototype C. And then let's see who else we got. Who else can help us out here? I'm gonna get rid of Sherry. Okay, you're gone.
Yep. David, someone is asking in the YouTube chat, please list the top 10 winners again, please, and thank you.
Yeah, we'll put it on the website. So when you go to bunkielife.com/contest, all the results will be there. So we'll post it there.
Awesome.
Rather than repeating myself.
And will we be able to email them as well? Like if someone won, you're going to get an email from you?
Oh yeah, we're gonna make sure we don't miss you.
Awesome.
And then hey, Diane Tange, who won a bunkie. Let's see if we can get her. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah.
Diane, can we spotlight her? I say add spotlight, right? How's it going, Diane?
I'm going to unmute you, Diane. There we go.
Hi there.
How's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
You have a bunkie.
Yes. Last year.
What's it like having one?
Oh, it's amazing. It was so much fun putting it together. Even I can do it.
How long did it take?
Well, it took us a little over a week because we took our time. We're not in the best shape, so I'm just, taking a bit of time.
Well, thank you for taking the time to tune in, even though you already have a bunkie. And there's no way we would let you win two.
It's okay. I still did my duty and kind of helped with everybody.
Yeah, I saw you I was just pretty excited to see you in the top 1,000. I'm like, that's cool. She's sharing it out there, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming.
No problem. Nice to see you.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find if there's any staff members on there. A lot of people are tuning off they're probably in bed right now and like turn off the
Yep. Julie Buston says thank you. It's getting late. Work tomorrow. Thanks for being here, Julie.
Wait, here's Stacy. Let's add her. So Stacy, now known as April Dawn Lister. So
hello,
Stacy,
everybody.
do we know who won these? So let me show you the third prototype while we're here, Stacy. So this is Griffin in our prototype B. And so do you know who I guess not who, but what the names were selected as the number 1, 2, and 3 barkhouse names?
So a lot of the names that we picked were multiple, like a lot of people had submitted that same name.
Okay.
So there's definitely a few that are repeats. So lots of people kind of won.
Okay, cool. So So I guess let's go back. How do you want to do this? I'll show you the first one, which is the.
You know what's fun, David?
Prototype
Melissa
A.
White says, I never want to leave. I have 6 children, and this was my adult time with 4 hearts. We're glad you're here.
Okay, so this one here, prototype A. Do we narrow it down to one name, or is it's like where are we at?
I think we're between 2 names still on this one. With one of them being the Lookout, which is with the front porch, kind of like little dog looking out on the property vibes, or the Rock Wolf.
Oh, the Rock Wolf.
Yes, we liked the Rock Wolf. It's
it's punny.
Based off of the Rockwood Bunkie. So
yeah. Okay, cool.
David, the YouTube chat, there's a question from GVan365 in the 604. I love that name. It says, do you guys deliver to Vancouver?
Yeah, actually,
I'm very interested in one soon. Do you deliver to Vancouver? And Christine Krzylinski says, this was the most fun I've ever had not winning something.
Stacey, you can answer this one. This is a Stacey question.
we deliver. Our main hub is in Surrey, BC, so super close. You can pick up there locally, or we can deliver right to your door.
Very good. Oh, so GVan365 in the 604 says, oops, Perth, Ontario. So that's a funny YouTube name. So I made an assumption. So can you ship to Perth, Ontario?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like this guy's just testing us. Can you ship to?
Yeah. Well, that's a heck of a YouTube
name. Of it?
GVan365 in the 604 piece. I think that's fun.
Most places we can get to. Throw me a crazy one, though. I've seen some wild ones lately.
Can you ship to North Carolina on an island? That was our last.
The Yukon.
Terry Mason says, looking forward to seeing you all next year. Thank you for an exciting time. Congratulations on your ever-growing family.
Thanks.
Aaron Moore is going to hurt me. He says, LOL, Chris, let's get through the doghouse names, buddy.
Okay. Well, we got through so we got, basically this is going to be the Rock Wolf or the Lookout. It seems like they're both very popular. And then, of course, this one here. This is Scotty's design.
Nice.
Also known as Prototype C.
Prototype C. Okay, so this one we were looking at Doggy Haven or Little Paw. What was that? Bark House. So
Little
something
Paw
to
Bark
show
House,
that it's for the little ones, or something that also shows the Haven side.
All doggies go to Haven. Okay, I like that one.